Your camera will stay off.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Somnambulist, episode number 5. If I remember to update the title, which I'm pretty sure I did. I wish, for once, I have scripted an intro, but I have not gotten around to it yet. So, hello and welcome. Episode 5 of Mage Somnambulist. We are joined by a guest. You can see him all the way at the end of the overlay there. Valen, it's lovely to have you here.
Pleasure to be here, as always.
If you haven't seen Valen before on this channel, then it means you haven't watched Glitch. Go watch Glitch. He plays a surprisingly heartstring-pulling child very, very well. He did happen to have a giant mechanical centipede, but... yeah. So we'll do the intro and we'll do just a quick recap of what's happened in the last episode or so. But before we do that, whenever we have like a first episode, we do intros for the cast at the beginning. Seeing as Valen wasn't here for that and he's guesting, Valen, give us a quick intro to you while I think of my intro. Cover for me.
Oh, all right. Hi, how's it going, everyone? I'm Valen Vane, Vane by name, Vane by nature, colossal filth wizard. If you're coming over to my channel, be aware of the X-rated nature of it all. But obviously within terms of service, all fun and games.
Yeah.
You can find me on most social media at Valen Vane. I really like my own face. That's it's a great state of being. There you go. Next.
I've been inscribed on your mirror multiple times now.
You have indeed. We've got them all. No, you can even see them much, but they're all there. They're all there. All the names of the subscriptions over the past 3 years or however many.
Is that your actual room?
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
I bought a house because it was number 69 and decorated like Prince Fuck the Moulin Rouge. So it's pretty much my entire life.
Excellent. Oh my god, I'm a huge fan of the aquarium. God damn.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I still haven't prepared my intro, but fuck it, I'll give it a go. So this is Wandering In. We do TTRPG role-playing shows, however you want to describe them. Someone explained to me what actual play actually was. I immediately forgot, and I'm like, is this an actual play? I don't know, maybe, who knows. But this is a tabletop role-playing channel where we do shows. And if you enjoy what we do, you can go check out the Patreon, where we essentially, you can support the show. All of that money goes to the channel, which immediately goes to the cast. So, for example, the patron currently covers the cost for the Monday show, which means that I get to pay everyone, we all get to be happy, and we get to, you know, not bankrupt me, which is great. I do enjoy that part of it massively. Aside from that, there is Discord, there is a Twitter, if you want to keep up with what's going on and what shows are being done, especially if you join the Patreon, jump in the Discord. We do things like board game night. The patrons quite often get involved with the shows, so, you know, helping me to create NPCs or helping me to learn a system before I throw out 90% of the rules in said system, all that type of thing. And there's going to be a few more things coming up where I have plans. If any of you have watched The Last Ditch over on Roll For It, I have a similar plan with a different type of show. So, yeah. Aside from that, last week, we experimented with magic, which, considering the week before, one of our young student mages got pulled into an alternate spirit dimension because someone decided to experiment with their magic.
To be fair, this risk was brought up, and we had the full agreement and improvement of our teacher.
Uh-huh.
Just saying, I brought this exact thing up last week.
Yeah, and then your said teacher was like, I have to go and tell all of your scary mentors what happened. I'll be back later. And was like, go play with magic, and then left you guys to your own devices. So, I guess we all know how that goes. If anyone hasn't realized yet, teacher is a very, very loose and generous description for Shelby. But hey, I think one of my favorite things about how the show's gone so far is all of the characters are like very resentful of having Shelby as a teacher. Like, you know, you're not a very good teacher. What are you going to teach us? You know.
I think Sesha's just kind of having fun with it. Like,
yeah. Well, and
I don't think she doesn't resent him, but at the same time, she does kind of feel bad. Or she's like, ooh, like you gotta go talk to all of our mentors. Have fun with that.
Yes.
Bye.
But it's just funny because it's like it wasn't his choice. You know, I'm sure we'll talk about that more in the future. So, with all of that said, I believe that we left off with Alfie and Nell having a little bit of a mess about and kind of figuring out their abilities. Alfie built essentially gloves that can punch through the veil into what is essentially the afterlife, or a reliquary of souls, which Nell then punched through.
Yeah.
Great success.
We had to kind of take those away
Yeah,
from
it's like,
her, just because this might
I
have been.
handed them to you. I'm responsible.
We realized that might be a little too much power to use at this point. You
Yeah.
know, we don't want to break the world.
Alfie did, however, recreate them into essentially essentially like a soul magnifying glass for items, so she can pull out the like inherent makeup, basically representation of an item, like she did with the table, and inspect it, see what it's made of, and all that type of thing.
I really want to call it like the codifying claw, because like you can just like, it's almost like a coding thing where you could like change all the aspects of the item and then also destroy. So
you can like change lines of code to make it different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just coder's claw, you know.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your spell, it's your ability, so.
Can I add it to my list?
I'd say yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure it would be 100% perfect.
It's maybe not a spell. It's more like an item then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just call it coder's claw.
I'd say you'd need more research and practice to make it something you could replicate.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just say coder's claw needs more research.
So, having said that, it was just about time for us to join Sesha, who I believe is upstairs and currently contemplating an open door. So, Sesha, sitting in the room, you've been searching for that weird Killjoy presence, and so far been unable to find him, them.
Well, I could sit here, do absolutely nothing, and wait for my friend to come and visit me. Or I could keep opening these doors and seemingly get absolutely nothing. Or I could go downstairs and poke my nose where it doesn't belong.
Is this her talking out loud to herself, or like addressing?
Yes, 100%.
Is she more addressing like the room and the house when she's saying this? Just kind of like.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's talking to herself.
Okay.
While laying on that bed, she's just talking to herself.
Yeah. I will also say that you have heard a few crashes and exclamations from downstairs as well. Sounds like they're doing something.
I think after she says that, she would pause a little bit. And she'd probably hear another crash. Yep, all right, that's all it. We're going downstairs.
Okay. So you leave the room, door closes, and you start walking down. As you go down from the floor you're on, changes slightly. It's still kind of archaic, a bit old looking, but the lights are electrical lights, and you know it goes away from the like Victorian era vibe into like just an old house in modern day. And yeah, you head down until you see the open door, where both Nell and Alfie are essentially inside.
Peek my head into the door frame.
Now,
And
Hey,
what do
Nell,
I see?
look. And I'm like turning the table into like a chair, and I put like a chair with wings, and then I turn it into like fish scales, and then I'm just like changing all the things with this hand.
for the sake of continuity, you did sawdust that table, but you could do it.
Oh, I did.
You could
I'm
do
gonna
it
do
with
another one.
Yeah, you could do it with another table for sure.
I broke this other one, but I can make another one.
Do you do it with like one object, or do you just like make objects and then leave them? Like you change it, then leave it, do it to like another one.
I am making biblically accurate chairs at this point.
Biblically accurate.
It's like 1,000 wings, eyes. Like it looks like a freaking monstrosity. Like there's just some weird shit going on. One of them looks like it definitely belongs in an ocean. One of them's probably like flying around the room kind of haphazardly. One's made of slime. You know, there's just.
Let me like interject in that exact moment where Nella's trying to basically control this new thing that she's also trying. And so every time you make like another chair, instead of looking at it from afar, from all the way across the room, she will, with the magnet system in the space, try to like pull them to her every time to inspect them. So like she'll pull the chair, look at it, and then like if it has wings, like throw it up, let it fly and stuff, then pull the chair, it's like slimy, and then just like kind of like try to pull it like push it back. So yeah.
Weird, right? Oh my god. Here, catch this one. And it's gonna be like one that looks super heavy, like a super heavy metal, but is actually just light as air. And I'm like, pull this one.
I try to pull it and expecting something heavier. I'll like lift it up and then like take a step back, like almost fall back, like how I mean, and I try to crumple it. So like I just crumple the chair. I'm like, what chairs?
I don't know. I just want to sit on things right now. Bouncy ball. And I'm just gonna like try to like find like a yoga ball or something, or like, you know, try to will into existence a fucking yoga ball and just be like, maybe I can make these sentient. And I'm gonna try it. Now I'm playing God. Now I'm being a little fucky. Now I'm trying to make this bouncy, this like round ball talk to me and be like,
do you really think it's a good idea to make a basketball or a volleyball sentient?
Army.
Why, Alfie? Why
balls.
would you? Why do you need an army?
Sounds fun.
No.
Have you
I just
stepped
point at the
in, or
door.
are you still like peeking?
Yeah.
I look at Nell and I point at the door. Why do I need an army?
I lowered a finger. Sasha,
Hey, ladies, what are you doing?
Doing the assignment.
Really? Creating an army of yoga balls.
Just chairs.
Interesting.
Practicing our magic.
Haven't. It's just chairs right now.
I mean, but it seems fun.
Yeah, we're practicing our magic, trying to make new spells. That was the assignment, wasn't it?
It was. Alfie, do that thing again with the chairs.
She doesn't need to. She's not a trick pony. Like, you don't just tell her to do something. You can ask her, though, if she wants to.
Unless she can't, repeat the process.
Or you can just ask
Immediately grab
instead
a
of.
chair.
No,
I-
Alfie.
I can do it. I literally invented this, and I'm just like turning it. I'm gonna turn it into like, basically, I'm almost gonna turn it into just like a blood mess. Just like try to make it the material just blood.
You wouldn't be able to make it blood, but you could make it viscous and red to look
Okay,
like
yeah.
blood.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I turn to Alfie, and in a quiet voice, I say, like, it's not because she, like, tempers you and she makes you do something. Like, she knew you could do it. She just didn't want to fucking ask politely.
Also, Alfie, you didn't invent chairs.
What
I mean, I thought it was
beta
kind of
in
cool.
there?
Alright, fine. Just trying to help.
That wasn't a helpful comment. A helpful comment would be like, "Hey, Alfie, try this particular combination. Hey,
Hey.
Alfie, why don't we try using, I don't know."
Beta, wanna see if I can throw you up that flying chair over there with 1,000 mouths and eyes?
Not really.
You're all so mean to Beta.
What? I'm not mean to Beta at all.
Just told me to shut up.
You tell me to shut up all the time.
Agree to disagree.
I will not agree.
What are you... Okay, look, Sasha. Why are you joining us? Do you want to actually try to be friendly for once and try to
I
just antagonizing someone into doing something instead of asking them is not really being nice.
It was just a question. Just wanted to see if she could do it again.
Yeah. Look.
I gesture to the massive pile of really messed up chairs.
And you did it.
I can do it.
She gives a little golf clap. Good job, Alfie.
I turned the blood chair into a chair of just fucking sharp objects.
Can you turn them back now?
I turn it back into wood.
Can I? No, it's
That's
it's a
amazing.
chair made of sharp objects, right?
Yeah, it's like
It was, yeah.
The more you make that one, that's.
Oh.
Do I want to be violent or not that violent? Just.
I'm gonna try and force. Well, she's trying to turn all the chairs back to normal. I'm gonna try to force it so she can't.
How?
Yeah, and I will throw a chair at you. Well, not throw, push a chair with the magnetism in space towards you. And it's a sharp chair full of. Someone said it in chat, so it's a chair made of swords.
I am going to.
Yeah, but you try to make it so that she can't turn them back, right? So choose.
Okay, fine. I won't mess with hers. But the chair coming at me, I'm going to basically stop time all around me.
Okay, so there's a lot happening. First up, I believe, Nell, your spell gives you the ability to change distance between you and an object.
Yeah.
So
Nell hasn't tried, well, she's been practicing a bit, but it's basically, the last time I said it, it was using magnetism between me and the chair and using space between me and the chair to bring it to me. Essentially, now I want to try to reverse it and push it back.
So something you have with forces is telekinesis. You have the ability to grasp things with essentially just pure force, move them around and all that type of thing. Wouldn't be a spell, but you could roll for it if you'd like
Yeah,
to.
sure.
That would be the easiest way for you to like enact what you're wanting to do. Essentially, using gravity would require you to create a source of gravity. You know, basically a source of gravity, which would pull it towards and possibly slingshot it at Sesha. But again, like you've used gravity before, it would cause everyone to go towards.
Yeah,
the
no.
well of
I want to
gravity.
do the same thing as I've been practicing with the chair. So like if it's most logical, I've been saying magnetism this entire time, but if it's
Okay.
like telekinesis in space,
Yeah.
seems more logical. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So that would be your forces and gnosis, which I believe is 5 dice.
Yep.
Okay, this is a success. So it's not massively fast, and the kind of the control you have is tenuous. I would say that essentially the chair just kind of, as opposed to being directed by you, it's more of like a launch. You basically grab it quickly with telekinesis and like launch it at Sesha.
It's good enough.
So Sesha, a sharp chair, not sure what that is, but a sharp chair has been launched at you, I guess. It's kind of like tumbling through the air above you.
I'd like to focus really, really hard
Okay.
the area around me, including the chair that is going on, that is like basically being shoved at me.
Okay.
And I'd like to stop everything.
What? Define everything, because for a mage,
I
that
mean, I'd like to cut the like a bubble around me. I'd like to cut off the time from there.
around you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case, that will be a time and gnosis, which would be 5 dice, I believe.
Okay.
Two successes, yeah. It doesn't completely stop the flow of time, but it's not like a giant bubble, you know. It's not extending out meters, but you have a thin, and no one else will be able to see this, but you can see there's just this thin kind of like maybe 6 inches of like static all around you from head to toe, just kind of like coning around you. And as you just stand there, as the chair kind of slides towards you through the air, the leg like hits that covering and just stops, and the rest of the chair keeps going. And then as more and more of the chair hits the, let's call it a shield, it too like stops, and the rest keeps going until essentially it just slowly crumples into this like flat metal like gloop of, yeah, because it doesn't all hit the time at once, so bits of it freeze in time and the rest keeps trying to move. So you've essentially like, it'd be a similar equivalent if someone shot a bullet at something completely solid and it just like flattens itself again. So you've just got this like covering of metal over your head now, that's frozen in time.
Chair.
It's not a chair anymore.
We're not entertainment for you.
I don't know.
So I don't
think that
know
was
why
kind of
you
cool.
are here.
Why'd you throw a chair at me?
Because I felt like it. Because you were kind of being mean, and I didn't feel
Mean?
like that much.
How was I being mean?
We're not
I just
entertainment for
asked-
you, Sesha.
I never asked you to be.
That's not
Don't
how
be so
it works.
quick to assume. Maybe I wanted to have some fun with all of you.
Yeah, and maybe I don't like the idea of fun that you might have. Because
And what
last time
what kind is that?
was forcing people to do things they didn't want and enjoying every minute of it.
Nell, you can't still be upset about that. The only one who has the right to be upset about that would be Alfie.
You don't tisk at me, Sesha.
I just did.
Good. Alfie, I think we deserve a break, don't we? Somewhere where, we can be peaceful?
Snacks.
Yeah, basically. Want to head to the kitchen?
Snacks.
I'll turn to Sesha again. Seems like we're heading to the kitchen. So if you want to use the gymnasium to practice, be our guest.
Oh no, I think I'm good. I'll come with. I'm a little bit peckish as well.
Consider yourself invited.
Thank you.
And I turn
Kind
and make sure that Alfie leaves first, and I'll be between Alfie and Sesha.
Okay. As you all get ready to leave the room and kind of head off down the stairs towards the kitchen, Greg, you walk up to the front door of the house you've been asked to go to. And as you step onto the steps, you hear a click, a kind of like as the door opens and reveals a hallway.
You step in very hesitantly,
Okay.
looking out for any sign of life.
You step inside. It's quite old looking, quite archaic, and wood and carpets. You know the type. And as you step in, you hear from above you voices, sounds like arguing, and footsteps starting to come down the stairs. The rest of you three, you are arguing with each other and walking down the stairs.
I have my hood up. I'm just kind of I think I'm probably ahead
You would be
and
first.
trying to.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm trying to scoot down the stairs as quickly as I can, just kind of looking back, just being like,
And
she's gonna catch me, kind of thing. What?
we're the two arguing.
Yeah.
And feel like it's not that difficult to ask for something. You don't need to. She's not a pet you can command to do things or direct to do things. It's way easier to make friends if you're actually trying to be nice.
Nell, you might bump into
You know
me
what?
as I stop.
Yeah.
You know what? Now you might be right. I just need to ask people to.
Just
Yeah, there's like a
Hey,
clack,
what?
clack.
Alfie, why'd you stop?
Alfie's staring down the hallway towards the door.
Don't mind me. Hello. How you doing? You all right? Here we are in the hallway.
Everyone can see him.
Yep.
Should we go put a kettle on and
Is this
get a
Killjoy?
nice brew in?
Nope.
All right, don't mind. I'll do that. I'll go get the kettle on and then.
Did you knock?
Oh no, don't worry about that. Door was open. Didn't have to worry
did
about
you kno-
that.
But did you knock?
Why would I knock? If the door was open, it was obviously inviting me inside.
That's not how things work.
And who are you to tell me how things work?
I'm gonna scramble up to him and just I'm just like kind of like go around him, just see if he's solid, just kind of like poke him.
The intense,
question.
like-
Did you sniff him?
I sniffed him. Oh,
the
100%.
intense urge to say, Alfie, no. I'm not.
Oh,
gonna
I
do
am
that.
basically, I'm in like dog mode. I'm like,
Well, this
Sesha will
isn't
kind of
quite
lean into
unusual.
Nell.
what would you smell like out of curiosity?
Probably like moss and peat, real earthy. Like I've been
yeah.
digging a lot,
Earthy
but also
smells.
kind of like of weed killer and flowers and stuff. He's probably about 40, 45, mid 40s, but looks like he's trying to be 20. He's got like his overalls on, but he's still got like badges and stuff on. Scraggy beard that he desperately is a little bit patchy. And he's got like definitely sores on his skin, like from like chemical burns and stuff like that. You all right there?
Are you all right?
Well, I suppose, but I could really do with a drink. You know, like a nice cup of tea or something like that.
And I just
No,
like,
is
I
it-
just turn, I turn
No.
and like just kind of book it to the kitchen.
Nell, is it friendly to sniff people?
It's fine to sniff people. Sniffing people is normal.
I completely.
Without asking.
I just take it like with a grunt. I just take a few steps down and I look at Greg and I say, like, hey, I think you were looking maybe for the cafe that's like down the road.
Oh no, don't you worry about that. I'm here very specifically on very important business. But
I'm not
first,
worried. I
Smells
think
like
you should
grass.
be the one worrying.
Why should I be the one worrying?
Because you didn't knock. Sesha will make her way to the kitchen.
Because we don't know you and you just stepped into this house and
You see, I've got my work cut out for me. Dear me. Well, Lady Guinevere did say that they would be a bit of a handful. Never mind, eh? So we sort that cup of tea out.
I've got a kettle on and everything, and I've started kind of like pulling things out of the shelves. I honestly, it's mostly just like gummy worms and cookies. So, yeah. He smells like weed killer. I think he works in plants, not plants, but maybe Do you work in plants?
I also turned back to the kitchen, walking, leaving Greg alone in the hallway and saying, like, he's from Guinevere. I don't like him already.
Why?
Well, well, all right then.
You've
I'll
been-
just follow them up the hallway
I was
to
gonna
the.
say you've been left alone in the hallway, so
Sesha shouts back at Nell. It makes sense why he didn't knock. Kira did the same thing, all with the self-opening door stuff.
so
You're
you
used to fancy
Are you
shit.
gonna throw this one into the void too?
Didn't throw them into the void.
Are you gonna accidentally throw this one in the void too?
Didn't throw them into a void.
So you wander into the kitchen to them shouting at each other across the room. It's not that far
And just
apart.
very
You're-
calmly, just ignore them all. Go over to like start opening cupboards, just looking for the tea.
Yeah.
I just like smack his hand, like, no. I'm like getting shit ready and like pulling things out, and like I've reached into one of the cupboards and like pulled out a whole bunch of teas and just dropped them onto the counter haphazardly.
Well, this is slightly different from the manners I'm used to, but you know, you're working on it. It's doing well.
What's manners?
How
You
many
come from a
times have
manor?
you made a cup of tea?
I
I have.
You
Baba and I have
fantastic.
tea all the time.
And you would be
All right. How about
Sesha, right?
you first explain why
Yes.
you're here?
Oh, that's right. Well, cup of tea first, and then business. Tea's always most important before you have all the businessy stuff, you know.
Finally, somebody I can agree with.
Oh yes, there we go. There we go.
I start
Kira
making the
didn't
tea.
get time to have tea before doing business.
like go up to him and just kind of sniff him again, just like because I see the chemical burns. Do you make things?
Sometimes, yeah. Depends what I've been asked to do, you know? At the moment, I'm here, like I said very briefly, because Lady Guinevere sent me. She was very concerned. I know it's quite hard to believe because she is a bit of a, well, she has her moments. Should we say she has her moments? That's probably the nicest way of putting it. But Lady Guinevere said that I needed to come over and make sure that that you were all right, basically, because you know, at the end of the day, you've lost a companion, and it was very untoward why all that happened, you know, and I basically came over to make sure you were fine. And that your studies were still going away and doing all the things, you know?
Are you sure Guinevere didn't send you here so you could go snooping about to see what really happened? Because she won't trust the word of our teacher, Shelby.
Why? Is there something that happened that was particularly untoward?
I mean, I think we all know Guinevere here. I mean, I haven't personally met her, but Baba definitely still has a
Oh yes,
choice words.
Madam Baba Yaga. I know her. She's well, she's got her moments too. Don't they all? And then I'll turn to Nell and be like, oh yes, and don't forget good old Merlin. Oh, do you know what? He's not as sharp as he used to be. He was an interesting young man. Younger man when I first. Well, he was still quite old, but. I mean, he made slightly more sense when I. Anyway, and then of course the wonderful Lady Morgan, can't forget her. She again. Do you know? I've noticed something about the council. Anyway, should we do that tea?
Think he sculpts topiaries.
I like
It's
him.
ready.
Oh, fantastic!
What? Really? You do? Are you sure?
Yeah.
What?
Just because
What was that?
Morgan doesn't mean he's like a good person.
What-
Also, most people
what
who
is
name drop
this?
Morgan.
The tea.
It's tea.
No.
I wouldn't trust anything she makes you.
Baba Yaga style.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that.
I like take it from his hand. I try to take it from his hands and like throw it into the sink. Like,
Whoa! Don't be wasting no tea. It's all right. I'll fix it. Dear me. And then I'm gonna stick my
No, the
finger
cup.
in.
The cup. No. That cup with that tea is shattered one way or another.
Oh dear.
And as it smashes in the in the sink, and the tea kind of like goes everywhere and spreads out, you notice that there's like a little kind of slice of what you are going to guess is slowly melting butter.
Well, I mean, it's not good for the sink. That's for sure. Sure, I'm sure it'd clean your gutters, though, wouldn't it?
Waste of tea.
I'm sure it is. Well, don't worry, I'll sort it right out. I'll go over to like some of the tea, find like some of the leaf that's still got a bit of stem on, like old loose leaf tea. Grab some like dirt from a plant pot, plant it in, grow like a couple of leaves.
Oh yeah.
And then have them die, wither, and like crush them up into a like proper loose leaf tea, and make a new one.
Yeah.
There we go.
sculpt
That's
topiaries.
All this takes is like space of about 20 seconds, where it blooms and then it rises and then it crumbles and.
There we go. That's better. Oh, you know, there's nothing quite like the home blend. Whew. So, how are you all doing with your studies and whatnot?
What?
Your studies? I mean, you lost what I considered a friend, but now I'm beginning to question.
Are you sent here as like a psychiatrist or like?
Are you our new dad?
I mean, well, I don't know about father, but I could certainly say that I suppose just somebody to talk to. I mean, if you think about it quite literally, all right, you've got two options here. You either think that Lady Guinevere has sent you over to come over and make sure you're all right because of your own peace of mind, because you've lost a valued compatriot in your studies. But then there's also the flip side of it that, you know, unstable mages cause quite a big problem.
So is she trying to figure out if we are mentally stable to the point that we are all right or deemed worthy to continue to study?
Wait,
I
are
mean,
we gonna have to move if she thinks we're not mentally stable?
Oh, I don't think we'll be moving anywhere if Guinevere thinks that we are mentally unstable.
Moving
Except for-
realms is moving, technically.
I mean, is it really realms or is it just a spirit?
I'm not one to
Prison.
question what Lady Guinevere thinks, really. All I know is that she's too angry to come here herself. So here
Exactly.
I am. So how are you doing? Oh, don't worry. I don't bite. Don't you fret about a thing. You say, what have you been
Fuck.
studying recently with Master Shelby?
And I take some tea as well, and I lower down on one of the tables next to Alfie, kind of being like, "Fuck, we're not gonna get rid of him."
We're trying to learn new spells with our
Ooh.
magic.
Interesting. And how are you doing on with that?
I helped
Alfie
Nell punch
created
through
some-
the void.
What?
I've helped Nell punch through the veil.
Did you know?
you-
Alfie, that's really good. Good for you,
No,
girl.
it's bad.
Why?
I don't want the hole in the veil to happen, so we decided.
I mean,
to
is
put
the
it
hole
away.
in the veil still there?
Hey, but you fixed it.
Oh no, I put it away. I
Oh,
changed
see,
it.
there you go. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, but like if you punch it too hard, then it's gonna be really hard to sew back up. So.
That is very true, and there's always the thing of, you know, bits escaping.
Yeah.
Did anything escape?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I think.
Better than the spirit realm, that's for sure.
I'm just gonna like put my gummy worms and stuff down, and I'm gonna like run back upstairs.
You talked about the spirit realm. I'm guessing you're referring to the incident. How did that go about?
Shelby wanted us to test our magic against each other. And
Right.
Kira and I were picked to test each other.
I see. And then?
And then Kira died.
I see.
Didn't I disappeared? She's
Interesting.
not dead.
Do you want to
Sorry, I'm not
talk me
allowed
through
to.
what
I'm not
actually
allowed to
happened?
say that she's dead. I'm supposed to say that she is still alive in the spirit realm, and the big bad skeleton arm that grabbed her and pulled her through the veil is keeping her in this cute little bird cage.
No, that you just made up. Like, you don't have to say that. No one said that you should.
I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, to be quite honest with you. Knowing the things that do frequent the spirit realm, I've seen far too many of those council members have their own little conversations with things that I'd rather forget, if I'm completely honest with you. But at the same time, like, you know, it's a possibility. Did she actually receive any kind of mortal wound?
No.
So she was just dragged away. Okay, well, that's vaguely positive. At least you didn't, you know, kill Guinevere's chosen protege thing. You know? That's got to work in your favor, right?
I guess that's one way to put it.
Depends what kind of mood she's in, I suppose.
As a very quick cut aside, Alfie, you run upstairs, poke your head into the room, like scan it very quickly. Seems completely clear. There's no break or tear left. You've managed to stitch that back up. As far as you can tell, it's completely clear of any intruders, let's say. And also, Beta says,
Alfie.
you really need to make sure that he doesn't find out you're crazy.
I know. I don't want to go to another home.
No.
God, it's been like, what, 20? 22?
It's why I was quiet during the meeting. You can't be talking to me. That's a sign of being crazy.
But everybody else can hear you.
He can't
Does that make
hear
them
me.
crazy? Well, Nell and...
they can hear you because you did the
Oh,
thing.
right. Shit.
He won't be able to hear me, so you're just talking to yourself.
Maybe I can, like, subtly make him do it so he can hear you? And it would be less weird. And then you can join in the conversation, and... I don't know if I want you to do that, actually. Usually you say stuff that makes me angry.
How rude.
I mean, not all the time.
Why don't you just ask him if he wants to talk to me? I could be a character witness, and they won't send you away.
I'm worried about the ideas of defamation of character here. That might happen.
It should be fine.
Should be fine.
I know how
Peter.
to talk to the police.
There weren't even police when you were dead. Or alive.
Really beside the point, don't you think? Priests,
Not
police,
really.
whatever.
Fine, but if you mess this up, I'm not letting you do that again. This is your one chance.
Okay. I got this. It's gonna be fine.
Swear to God. Okay. And I'll head back downstairs a bit.
You all hear like a of feet descending.
Here comes Elfie. Any luck?
Yeah, it's all clear.
That's good
do
then,
you
isn't
wanna-
it?
Do you want to talk to Beta?
And who's Beta?
My best friend?
Really nice fellow, actually. Quite like him.
Okay, all right. First of all, realms of actual reality. That's always a good thing.
He's real.
Well, that's good
he
to know.
He actually is real, by the way.
Yeah, it's kind of rude if you would say he's not real.
Oh no, I'm just saying within this realm of reality, you know, we've talked about different veils and different experiences. It's always good to know that they're on this level.
You want to talk to him or not?
I mean, by all means, I suppose. Does you want to talk to me?
Excellent. Alfie, do the thing you did, please. She winks at Nell.
Nell has like a kind of like a 0-0 moment where she's just like, how am I supposed to like, is it supposed to be this easy? Like, what did I just like?
Did I just use a cheat code or something?
Yeah, she's like, what?
Alfie, do you wanna...
I can't tell if Alfie wants to like do it because now she's asked her to do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I was gonna do it anyway. Anyway.
And she said, please.
Yeah.
And she said, please. So I was like, okay, small successes. So I'll just kind of like draw a little like rune on the table and just like pat it and just be like, Beta, introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Beta. Down
Hello.
here in the pendant.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Are you a spirit bound to a pendant or?
No, spirit, soul.
Oh, a
Not
soul.
recently, but deceased. No longer of this plane. Alfie reached in and ripped me out of my rest.
Very boring existence.
Very boring existence.
And you're happy being an inanimate object?
I'm not always in an inanimate object. Sometimes I'm in like a robot, badger. I was in a spider at one point.
Oh, a
Robot
scarecrow.
badger,
I was in a scarecrow.
scarecrow. I mean, it sounds like your life has certainly got a little bit more colourful.
Well, I mean, you know, my life was pretty colourful up until I got thrown into a volcano. After that, it's pretty boring and was not much of a life, to be fair, because I was dead.
I mean, that does certainly put a crimp in things. I'm imagining.
I
What is like death
found
by
that
lava
true.
like?
Hot,
Ooh. Yeah, I would imagine that's probably a good answer for that question, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, and I've spoken to quite a few dead people, you don't really take the time to notice details of death. You're much more focused on the dying. So, hot is pretty
I
much
would do
what
it.
I took away from being thrown in a volcano.
Do you know what? I've died a couple of times and I can respect that.
Oh, well, there you go.
I am going to like try and perceive whatever soul entity this guy is. I don't know if I can. Like the minute he says, "Oh yeah, I've died a couple times," I'll be like,
Yeah.
"But then what are you?" kind of thing. So I'm just gonna try to look at him a little bit more closely and see: is he alive? Is he dead? Is he a soul inhabiting some kind of body or husk? Like what is he?
He's alive. Just a regular person.
What do you mean you've died a couple times?
I mean, you all knew the council members. You don't work for a council member with a 100% life expectancy. Now,
You can also
fortunately,
just say Guinevere.
I mean, I could, but I wouldn't want to speak badly of my master, you know?
Yes, but she's not here, right? And she's not listening, right? It's just
I mean,
you and us, right?
You would think that.
Are you
Wait, so-
insinuating that Miss Guinevere has bugged the magical house?
Are you insinuating you would put anything past Baba Yaga?
Oh no.
Well then.
I'm just saying Guinevere.
Oh, I know.
She has
But I'm
a
just saying,
history.
they're all, well, they all have their quirks, shall we say.
I don't think Morgan would care enough to put bugs in the house.
I don't
Baba
think
Yaga.
Merlin would use bugs.
Maybe spiders.
Baba Yaga would just she would just use a doll. No use for bugs. Really?
Wait, so no, hold on a second. How did you die? What did you die from? Also, why are you alive?
I mean, it's obvious. Guinevere has killed him a couple of times.
But he's alive.
Well, there was that time that I got shot for jumping in front of a bus. It's a long story, and it really doesn't matter right at this moment in time. But the fact of the matter is, as you are well aware, people like yourselves, young mages, are able to do magical, mystical things that blend reality and construct and imagination together. As you can probably imagine, once you've trained to a certain amount, life isn't necessarily... Well, they don't make death permanent, shall we say. Why do you think all of the above are still alive?
But how?
I always just thought Baba just ate a lot of those weird banana slugs. She always said that they, added at least 10 extra years to her life.
How did you? How long were you dead for?
Oh, depends on the time. The longest I've been dead is about 2 days.
That's a long time to have a dead body.
It's certainly
I'm
a long
like-
time to be in the spirit realm because time doesn't flow the same way over there.
So what you're saying? Wait. So you said you went to the spirit realm when you died, but don't they go
Did-
to wherever they go for souls, right, Elfie?
Cast the veil.
Look, I'm not going
Am
to
I
question.
sure he's alive?
Yeah. Considering that he couldn't see or hear Beta, the likelihood is that he is not particularly well versed in death or the spirits or the veil and etc.
I'm gonna ask him and be like, what did it look like? The spirit realm that you went to.
It was all
Was
a
it
bit...
like purpley and dark and cold?
Shut up. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
It wasn't. He didn't go to the spirit realm, you guys. He went.
You went
the
to where
dead
souls go? Oh,
Went
all
to-
right,
yeah,
right,
he went
right.
past
Oh,
the dead.
all right. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to confirm because I'm pretty sure you already told us what happens when, people passes. So wait, so does Guinevere just snap her fingers and bring you back, or does she?
Oh, I don't know.
It's
Funnily enough, I was
interesting.
dead.
Alfie, I thought Guinevere specialized in the spirit realm and not the realm of souls.
Hmm. I don't know anything.
You think she dabbles in both? We should test it.
No.
Greg?
You do actually know this one, Greg. The answer to this one. The council members do each other favors, and it's not beyond the realm of possibility that someone with the ability to bring people back from the brink or from a recent death.
The council members do favors for each other, so maybe that happened. I've definitely seen it before, where because obviously there's Baba Yaga and there's Merlin, Morgan, and of course Guinevere. But they're not the only council members, you know. There are other council members.
So what you're saying is Lady Morgan did Guinevere solid. Interesting.
Potentially, or one of the others. There's quite a few. They do, know each other. They also like trade like boons to each other and favors and sometimes grudges, depending on how bored they are. It's a constant thing. But I suppose when you're alive for several hundred years, you gotta find your entertainment where you can.
Should we kill him? Maybe he's the bug that Guinevere planted in the room.
No.
Well, I was just thinking.
No.
I was just thinking something. No, it's not in the realm of killing him. No. I just had a question. Just a question. So, if you work for the council,
Indeed,
and you have knowledge of the council, you've been pretty close to the council as a whole. What's the deal with our instructor, Shelby? He's not actually a real instructor, is he?
I mean, Shelby has been around for a really, 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 really long time and has learned a hell of a lot about a hell of a lot of different things. There's something about him. Now, I don't know personally, because even when I joined the service of the council, they were, like, Shelby was already part and parcel of the whole instruction thing. Now, he's got a way of doing things and making sure that everything goes, well, in some direction. I couldn't possibly say what direction, but it always usually ends up all right. Like, because he taught you about, like, the reason why you've got to control your magic.
Yeah, because otherwise we get sucked into the spirit realm, like Kira.
There is that, but there's also the other side of things, like messing with reality. If you mess with reality too much, then you can break not only reality, but break yourselves. There's also the entire aspect of, the whole grab your torch and pitchfork, the witch trials, and the entirety of history where human beings have actually hunted down and murdered us for one reason or another.
Also other supernatural entities.
Oh, I was getting to that. And the fact that, mages aren't the only supernatural entity on this plane of existence.
Like a moon mask man.
The moon mask man?
Never heard of that.
The moon mask man?
Yeah, he popped out with 2 skelly mans. Really big ones.
Oh.
And Nell socked him right in the kisser and sent it flying. And, well, Alephy and Beta were in a giant mechanical badger and swiped the heck out of it. Out of the other one, anyways.
They don't know anything about those ones, I'm afraid. But then saying that, just a groundskeeper, do the odd favor for Lady Guinevere when she asks me, or when she tells me, more to the point.
What do you mean you don't know of it? Don't you know of the spirits? The spirit
Bits
realm?
And pieces, but only when it really is part and parcel of my work, you see. As you can see, I have a thing for plants.
So,
Can I have a sidebar with the ladies real quick? And I'm just gonna get up and pull the 2 ladies out
teen
of
huddle.
the room real quick.
Alright, just leave me here. I'll keep Greg company.
Okay.
Make myself another cup of tea.
And I'm just gonna go out into the hallway and be like, we can't fuck with him.
Why?
We can't fuck with him.
Why? I just...
Why?
No,
What?
Because if this guy is important enough that Lady Guinevere pulled favors to pull him back from the dead after 2 days of him being dead. And he's done this multiple times. This guy, if we fuck with him, we're gonna be in trouble.
Why is he so important? What? Why
I
do you
don't
think he's so
know.
important?
I don't know, but he's clearly important to somebody who's way more fucking powerful than us, and I don't want to die.
He just said he's just a groundskeeper.
Just a groundskeeper. Yeah. Have you met a cop before?
What's a
Multiple
cop?
times. Yes. What's your point?
Are you a cop?
Not that you knew of.
You have to tell me if you're a cop. You know, this guy. I don't know what. It doesn't matter. But we cannot fucking touch this guy because if we fucking hurt him, we're gonna fucking die.
So
Then what are we supposed to do with him?
Well, how
don't
about we just
know.
let him drink his tea and then send him on his merry way?
We can't do that. We can't ask him to do anything because God
can.
forbid. No, we can't because this guy is.
Hey, Greg, can we ask you to just leave?
No.
Okay, fuck, you're right.
He's important.
Okay, but what if I curse him? Could I do that at least?
I will hurt you
Look at-
Okay,
on
wait,
so
wait.
many
Okay,
levels if you
Alfie,
try to do that.
Alfie, wait.
No,
okay,
Alfie, I meant
cursing. Is it visible? Can you notice
No,
it?
it's technically not. I could just curse him so that
Clearly
he
a mage.
so that he
I mean, he
sneezes
could-
a lot.
Yeah,
Think about
exactly.
doing something damaging, just make him sneeze a lot.
I think at least if we can't send him away, we can let Sasha curse him and then talk
Could-
to him.
Could,
I
And
cannot
have him
believe you're
sneeze a
on
lot.
board
could
with
I-
this. I can't
could
believe
I-
you
could
of
I-
all people.
Hi, hey, could I make a suggestion?
Wait,
No,
I thought-
you're in the
I thought
other
Beta was
room.
still with him.
Oh, yes, I am. Hi,
You
could I
can't,
make a
Beta.
suggestion? You should drink more tea. Anyway, carry on.
I mean, sneezing is so harmless. I mean, unless of course you leave your eyes open.
This is
Which-
literally what I'm trying to tell you. And this is the longest conversation I will have with you, Miss Sasha, okay? Do not fuck with this man because or else we're all dead.
I look at Nell.
Please.
I
No sneezing.
I look at Sasha, and then I look at the Alfie and say okay, well I'm sure that Sasha will listen to you and not fuck with him. All right, Alfie?
Do I have to make a deal here to make sure that this is what? Do I gotta trade drugs or something to make sure that she doesn't do this?
Do you want to make an oath?
Hey! No. We're not gonna
She
do
said
that.
deal. I was
No.
just asking.
No,
I'm not
we're
going
not.
to do it. Fine. I won't touch him. Not even sneezing.
Thank you.
All right, so we're all on the same story.
Not touching
what?
him.
Just don't mess with this guy. Just play nice. Maybe he wants something. I don't know. We can't get rid of him, and maybe he's here to learn. I also don't know if he's like a
All right.
groundskeeper. He's clearly
Here's
spy.
a thing. How about we agree to not mess with him if he doesn't mess with one of us?
I don't think you understand.
I can agree with that.
I really don't think that Morgan is gonna bring me back from the dead if I fuck with somebody that Guinevere clearly likes.
I don't know. Maybe I could, pull strings with Baba, and then Baba could then ask Morgan,
Must be nice.
what?
Look, no, hey, Alfie. If anything were to happen, how about I just guarantee you that I portal you away to Merlin's doorstep? I'm sure he would love you. You could make edible bookmarks with him if all goes wrong.
Edible bookmarks?
Yeah.
Brilliant, honestly.
Edible bookmarks. Wouldn't that just make the pages sticky or something?
Well, not if
So
you
how-
make them out of a bread.
Right, so we're in agreement, right? We don't fuck with him if he doesn't fuck with one of us. And we let him drink his tea, and then we send him on his way.
All right.
You all done in there?
Yes, we're all done. Do you want to
Oh,
see where
fantastic.
Kira died?
I give 2 thumbs up to Alfie as I slowly turn around, and I'm like, it's gonna go fine.
You guys heading back in?
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to see where the incident happened.
right, you can follow me.
Always good
I
to
will-
get first-hand experience, you know.
I will be swinging my cane.
And I mouth over to Nell.
Not a cop experience with that.
Me too.
So you'd like to take him into the White Room?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, very clean in here.
Yeah, you walk through the hallway. It's literally just like through out into the hallway and back into another door. As it opens, it is a massive open white space that currently has nothing in it. It's
Oh,
just
delightfully clean.
complete nothingness as far as the eye can see.
Can't even see the corners. Will you look at that?
Ta-da!
Well, I never. And this is where it happened. Where was it that the big moon face person, whoever whatever you called them, where did they come through, as it were?
A tear? I don't know. However, Kira
Where-
summons spirits, I guess.
So how was it that Kira had that amount of power? Like I thought you were still training.
We were. That was the whole point.
Oh, right, I see. So you were fighting off against each other.
Wouldn't
And
really say
then-
fighting, but there was some hand-to-hand combat, I guess. I don't know. You consider slapping her on the face, you know. Not like
Maybe
super hard,
kata?
but like, you know.
Okay. And then suddenly a magical rift appeared.
Yeah.
Big skeleton people.
And then
like
a moon
that?
mask man.
And the moon mask man. Now, was the moon mask man like a skeleton with a moon mask or like a fully formed body with a moon mask?
Kind of like a weird shadowy
Uh,
form.
It essentially it looked like it had kind of white robes on, so you couldn't see much of the body. The arms and everything seemed almost like mannequin like, you know, like porcelain kind of vibes. And it had like a very oval kind of, you know, moon face. With the only other thing you noticed was the piercing jade eyes. So you can essentially get that information.
Yeah. I
across.
you know, that's pretty much what it looked like. I don't know. It was kind of hard to see, you know, all of a sudden because it kind of, you know, pushed me 200 feet.
I mean, Spirit Realm does do that. Things from other planes of existence and what have you. God, you should see what some of the other creatures have. Anyway, and then a giant skeletal hand appeared.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was it
After Nell
attached to
and-
like a giant skeletal arm?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of
It's a
like
little bit fuzzy, you know, just
arm to elbow, like shot out, grabbed, and then pulled it back in.
it was really traumatic. So things are a little bit fuzzy.
I'm gonna dig my hands into my pockets and just pull out some like dirt,
Yeah.
like good old dry dirt, and just throw it across the air in like periodic states where I think they told me the rift should have been.
Yeah.
You see this here? This is grave dirt, and hopefully it'll react to any remnants of rift.
Yeah, the dirt kind of like flies out and just like whoomph, like lands on the floor for the most part. But as you're throwing it, there's like this kind of section of the air where the dirt just holds and starts to basically like float there, and then slowly like little sprouts of plant just come out and then start like snaking in the air, like
Ooh.
forming this kind of like long line, and then like little scar marks going off in different directions.
Oh dear. Oh, you really did make a nice little tear in the whole fabric of space and time, didn't you?
We
Kira
didn't.
did it.
I'm sorry to tell you this, but I'm not entirely sure the council will see it as Kira did it.
I mean,
You're
none
a
of
team.
us.
Sorry
none
to
of
tell you
us
that.
have spirit as something we
none
can
of us-
control.
None of us can open the tear into the
Oh, right.
spirit
Well,
realm.
I'm sure when Lady Guinevere is calmed down, I'm sure she'll listen to that.
I turned to Nell.
What are you trying to get out of this, Greg?
I'm just trying to work out what happened and make sure you're all right.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
you're
but you-
working it out just fine. Only you're accusing us of things and making us afraid. A few teenagers. How does that make you feel?
Perfectly fine, to be quite honest with you. I'm not
Also, you're
making you
perfectly
afraid.
fine with making 3 teenagers terrified because their lives might be on the line for something they totally didn't do, and you know they didn't do.
Well, let's be honest about this, Nell. And let's be really honest about this.
What's
I'm not
your
trying
point
to
here?
make you afraid. What I'm trying to do is give you the gravity of the consequences. Because at the end of the day, so far, I've come into this house, and so far all you people have done is bicker and question everything. Now, you aren't working much of a team. You're always at each other's throats. And when somebody turns around and says, this is the situation, you make excuses. Now, to me, I don't really care in the nicest way possible because at the end of the day, I'm going to go off and do something else after this. But you are going to have to deal with the consequences of all of your actions because that's the way that the world works, especially when you're dealing with people from the council, you know?
But these weren't our actions.
Oh, and I'm sure
Besides,
the
what would our
council will
mentors
listen.
and what would our mentors do? Just stand by and let us be prosecuted like such?
You know your mentors better than I do.
I do, and I
Morgan
know
would
that
definitely
Baba.
throw me under a bus.
Well, Baba would not, and I'm pretty sure Merlin wouldn't either.
I don't know.
Objection. I'm innocent under habeas corpus.
No, you're part of the team beta.
No further questions.
Now, do we see how you're getting on, shall we? You want to show me what you've learned so far?
I don't feel like showing you anything because, oh no, what might happen if I do something and then you go and tell the council that we had repercussions or consequences as a theme?
I'm just gonna step forward. And I'll be like, I can do veil stuff, dead things, and also make things. And I'm just gonna like punch a hole in.
Shelby isn't here, Alfie.
I'm just gonna punch a hole in the veil, kind of grab a spirit almost like by its whatever kind of throat it is, just pull it out and just be like,
Kind of this like smoky, quite jagged being that's like, you know, kind of there's a as she punches through the veil, there's a little kind of like whispered scream, which is like, you know, like that tails off, and then this kind of very squirmy, small little being, like smoke monster being, is basically squirming in her hands or hand.
I just kind of like poke at it and like kind of pull it a little bit and then stick it back into the veil and then
Close it up.
Yeah, close it up. If you can give me materials too, I can make things and put beta in
Oh,
them.
fantastic. So you're
No,
Marlon,
wait a
let me
second.
be very clear. Like, I'm not here to like pass or fail you or anything like that. Like, I take Guinevere's word at her word. She told me to come over and check on you. Now that's all I'm doing. What happens after that is entirely that. You know, I'm not your friend, but I'm also not your enemy. Okay?
What are you checking for again?
Just making sure that everything's all right.
All
Because,
right,
like I
then
said,
how?
unstable mages, well, they make a whole hell of a mess.
You realize that we're teenagers, right?
I was gonna say unstable is something else from being bickering teenagers.
You know, like a high school. Have you ever been to a high school before? It's like one of
have.
those, like one of those kinds of things. You know, like cliques and stuff like that. You know, and the bickering and the drama and stuff like that's
The
pretty much what's
general
going on
thing
right
is
now.
With high schools is the fact that most high school students can't break time and space and, you know, cause an apocalypse. Whereas you might be able to, depending on what you're learning, obviously.
I'm like tapping at the void and trying to like find the door or a door that like Shelby did before. I'm like, it was like here before.
I pull Alfie back a bit. I'm like, stop trying to please him.
I'm not trying to please him. I'm just trying not to die.
You've already showed something. Stop it.
It's not my full thing.
I kind of hold you back a bit. So I like your sweater. Yeah.
I'm
Basically,
like, yeah. Are there still like the tables, like the student desks in here?
Not currently, no.
I can also make things. I'm like trying to run.
It's all right, Alfie. It's all right. You calm down. You're doing very, very well. Don't you worry. Like I said, not here to judge. I'm just making sure you're all right. Because at the end of the day, as you pointed out, you're teenagers and teenagers that would normally attend high school. But at the end of the day, you've also seen somebody dragged into the spirit realm by a giant skeletal hand. Now, that would normally unnerve some people.
yeah, and what does that do? It brings out emotions. What is bickering?
It does. But like I said,
Don't you
just making
think
sure.
we're dealing with this on our own? And we don't necessarily need an adult to help deal with our emotions after losing a teenager tragically by seeing them being ripped into a spirit realm.
Mm-hmm. And
I
have any
don't
of you...
think helping us deal with that is threatening us that we might be persecuted for whatever happened there. I don't think that's helping us deal with everything.
Look, like I said, I'm not here to threaten, all right? I didn't mean to threaten. I genuinely apologize if it seems like I did. I was merely pointing out that at the end of the day, you're not gonna like talk to me about it. You're not going to be responsible to me to explain the whole situation. You're going to be responsible to the council, and more to the point, Lady Guinevere. Now, I'm not here to upset you or make everything worse or anything like that. I might have done by my things, but I've never been a conversationalist, you know. I'm just trying to make sure you understand the gravity of the situation.
Yes, we understand that Guinevere runs the council ruse, and it'll be off with our heads.
I mean, potentially. It might be a better situation. You might be stripped to your magic and left on to be a mortal human being. I mean, that at least then you're alive.
As you're talking and Alfie's trying to run, Alfie, you hear Beta like whisper like, Alfie, you have to pretend to be sane.
Stop and be like,
There you go, smile. There. Sorry, carry on.
Nell gives a worrying glance to the side, but like lets go of Alfie when she stops whining.
it's definitely like the most unnerving fucking like.
You showed it. Yeah, you showed it perfectly
Too much
well.
teeth. Too much teeth.
Maybe we've got off on the wrong foot. Like, let's all calm down, take a nice deep breath. Now, so this is where the incident happened. How are you feeling in and of yourselves? Obviously, I've antagonized the situation a little bit, and I didn't mean to do that. I'm not great as a people person. I don't know why they send me on these situations, but you know, let's talk about like how do you feel a sense of loss? Were you close to your dear friend Kira?
We didn't really get to know her too much.
Okay, yeah.
But she had a nice little fox friend.
Oh, what happened to the fox friend? Do you know?
Actually, I don't. I don't think she brought him.
Could
He
the
was a
fox friend still
spirit.
be around the house somewhere? Then we get an indication of whether Kira's still alive in whatever realm they happen to be in. You know?
Sheepy, would the fox spirit kind of count under locate object or not?
It would count under the spirit realm, so it wouldn't really be something you could locate.
All right. Gotcha.
Could I try to sense it? I don't know if I'd be able to because it's very different.
Yeah.
It might actually be more difficult for me because I couldn't like I'd confuse them.
Yeah, I would say you do have the ability to see, but sensing and locating and that type of thing is kind of outside of the realm for you.
I'll just kind of... Kit! Kit!
Was that the fox's name, Kit?
I think that's what she called him, right?
Has anyone
Kit!
checked her room?
Kit! I'm going up to her room now, just kind of like searching the house.
Okay.
I follow along.
I take
Swinging
Nell to
my
a
cane.
side.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Her fists are like immediately balling when you when you pull her to the side. She was calming down, but now she's pissed. Yo, what's
Now,
up?
I think we got off on the wrong foot. I genuinely
think?
didn't mean. Yeah, I do. And I'm holding my hands up and saying I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I genuinely didn't mean to. I just came to try and make sure everything's all right. But I understand that the gravity of the situation is quite severe. Now, I'll do anything I can to help the situation. I'll do anything I can to help you and your friends, all right? Because, I mean, although you're very bickering, it's got to be said. Like, I just want to make sure that you're all right. You seem like real nice kids, do you know?
Well, then we can continue on after this. As long as you don't threaten any of them again. And you
Okay.
don't make poor Alfie afraid for her life because of your words, which were chosen the way they were.
Okay. No, I understand. Don't you worry. I'll do
I
my
don't care
absolute
about
best.
you threatening me by any means, but
Okay.
some of us, teenagers, can't handle that well.
Like I said, I didn't mean to bring it across as a threat. I was just trying to highlight that at the end of the day, the council aren't, well, they, depending on their mood, they're not always as understanding, you know? And like, as soon as I turn around and say, this is a situation for you all, and you're like, well, I didn't do it, it was them. I've got to let you know that when you're all stood up there, it's not going to be them pointing fingers and asking for an excuses. They're just going to make their decision.
And
You
I
know?
think you forget something, Greg. That whilst you have been living with Guinevere, we all have been living with council members. So I think if you tell us that the council is ruthless, we all have experience with it.
But you're
Maybe
all still
not
teenagers.
having all died 6 times like you. But I think the core of who they are and what they are isn't that easily mistaken.
Okay. I'll accept that. I'll accept that as an understanding and a point of perspective.
You want to go upstairs now?
Oh, by all means, you lead the way.
Right. And I start walking. I don't actually know where Kira's room is, so I just start walking up the stairs and hope the house will guide me.
Okay.
Cat.
Yeah. On the second floor, as Alfie and Sesha are going up, you get to the second floor and there's that door there. It's the only door on the floor. It says Kira's room, but it's been crossed out.
I'm gonna just try to open the door very gently.
She may not be here, but you always want to knock first. I knock.
I just freaking open the door.
I'd like to rewind that.
Okay, you open the door and close the door. and you're back where you were standing.
What is with you and knocking? Honestly.
It's polite.
Yeah, well, you're not. And I'm just like opening the door again.
Do it again.
Yeah. Same thing. It's like you're on a loop.
Do you just like always rewind things whenever you don't get your way?
No. I only do it to people I like.
I kick the door open.
I rewind it.
Fuck's sake.
At this point, Nell and Greg probably make their way up the stairs and see the like kick and the.
I kind of position myself in front of Greg to hide.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting here. You just see her just like,
Like Mary Poppinsing all over the place.
Nell. Hi, Greg. We're just waiting for you, so we're just playing a little game.
You're muted, I think, or you're not.
I was saying I go to say something, and then as Nell steps in front of me, I just hold it.
I step in front of you like, and I turn around and I say like, "Hey, so how about Kit?"
I stop snapping.
Okay.
I knock on the door.
Police, open up.
Don't say that. We're not the cops.
You don't know that.
I open the door.
As you open the door, you are presented with what used to be quite a nice room. Unfortunately, there are like scorch marks and like these like giant like claw marks throughout the floor and the wall, and the one window which is at the end of the room, it is smashed, and a small amount of snow is slowly like creeping in and like blowing in.
What the hell happened?
I will walk in and look at the scorch marks. They're not similar to the dolls, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The scorch marks appear to be part of the claws of the claw marks, like where the claws have gone through like the floor and the walls, appears to have left burns with them.
Greg,
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
Akira mentioned something about her wanting to learn control. And
Ooh.
and I mean, is this news to you?
I mean, I don't really know. I'm usually out in the grounds when Lady Guinevere's dealing with any students across the years, you know?
I was just wondering because you wouldn't happen to know what happens if a spirit does not have its tether.
Oh yeah, that can be really bad depending on the spirit for sure. Depends whether the spirit was bound voluntarily or whether it was leashed in, as it were, against its will. There's always the situation where it could be a really angry spirit because of the situation of which the original owner has been removed, as it were. Really depends.
To expand
Okay.
a little bit for you, because you have some knowledge of this with the whole Guinevere situation. Essentially, when a mage with spirit summons a spirit, they bind it either to themselves, to an item, or for a temporary amount of time. In the cases where a mage summons a spirit and binds it to themselves, or keeps it with them for an extended period of time, when the mage dies, the spirit is loose in the real world. So it has its own will and everything.
I mean, it really depends on how she chose to bind it, really. If I'm looking here, We could be dealing with a spirit in the physical plane of existence, and that is less than ideal. Do you know if she bound it to like an item or like a temporary situation, or did she bind it to herself?
She didn't really explain. Although it seemed like they were companions, like Beta and Alfie. And she kind of looks to Nell and Alfie like, right? I don't know.
All I know is it looked like a fox.
It was a spirit. So it was like a spirit kind of like familiar. Like I have Beta, but Beta's a soul and used to be like a real person. And
That's a slightly different situation for sure. Do you know if it was that like naturally a fox spirit, or was it a spirit that was taking the shape of a fox?
You're talking to three
know.
people who don't know anything really about spirit magic.
I
the
know
spirit-
some stuff about spirit
Okay,
magic.
I'm just saying that, but well, I'm speaking for, the other two in the room here who don't really dabble in spirit or soul magic. You know, I dabble in time and fate, and Nell
I punch things.
deals in force and punching shit.
Both very important spheres for sure. All right, all these things very important, but let's have a look around maybe. Do a bit of an investigation to find out first of all whether because as I see it, there may be several situations here. Maybe the spirit became unbound and let loose out of sheer anger at what happened to their master. Okay, there's that. Then there is the possibility that as young Kira was dragged away to the spirit world, that the spirit might have tried to resist being drawn back into the spirit world. That's always a possibility as well. And then there's the worst case scenario where it was a spirit that decided that it no longer needed its tether and decided to stay on this plane of existence. And if that's the case, then we could. So we've got the three options. Either it was a spirit that became untethered and just lashed out from pure anger, which is a potential. The second option that as the master was being dragged away into the spirit world, the spirit decided to try and lash out and cling on to the physical plane of existence, or the worst case scenario, which is the spirit is now untethered in this plane of existence.
That being said, I have a question.
Yes.
How does one find a rampant spirit? Does it leave like a trail besides what we see in this room? Does it leave like a residue?
While you do that, while you say that, Shibi, can I go and look outside the window to see if there are any obvious tracks of like something going away?
You can. Outside the window is just below the window pane actually. Is snow. There's trees. Like right up against the window, essentially. And it's just forest. And thick forest, so you can't see very far through the trees. But there's no marks of prints or anything in the snow. But then again, it is snowing slightly, so.
Can I try to, having a bit of experience probably also with break-ins, deduce if this window was broken from the inside or the outside?
Inside. But
right.
I'll give you the additional information that you're on the second floor and nowhere near a forest or snow.
Wait. Okay, so we're seeing the snow and the forest, but the house isn't supposed to be near snow and forest.
The house isn't supposed to be near a snow and forest. You're also on the second floor. Which means you shouldn't have the ground at window height.
All right. So it's like I could step outside basically.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. While you ask that to Greg, Nell kind of looks over from the window and says, like, I think I walked outside and this is not supposed to be outside.
You.
So technically, it's not technically in this reality outside. It's just outside in reality in a sense
In
of
this-
still the house.
In this reality, outside of this, I mean, this is still reality outside of the window. It's just
Oh, sorry, I meant realm.
Can we touch the dirt if we lean out the window?
touch grass.
You can touch the snow. If
And
you
touch the snow.
Put your hand through the snow, you can get to dirt probably.
Yeah, can I grab down and grab some of the mud and just stick it in my mouth and see if it tastes like this plane of existence or whether it is another plane of existence?
Yeah.
Hmm. Huh. Will I never?
It's probably it's hard to tell whether you're in it's hard to tell whether you're in like Russia exactly, because it's kind of like the eastern Russia area, so it could be it could possibly be a part of Japan technically speaking, but it could be China. It could be, you know, anywhere in that kind of like area there.
So it's definitely mud from the physical plane as opposed to the spirit world or anything like
Oh, yeah, this is a different part of the world.
that. Alfie, do you want to come and taste it? Make sure it's not none of that spirit world, soul, police, what have you?
She doesn't eat dirt.
I immediately go.
Yeah,
over
Alfie,
and
don't eat the dirt. No, don't eat the dirt.
I put the dirt in my mouth.
Okay.
No, I try to stop you.
Greg, like I was saying, is there
No,
anything that you know that a spirit can leave, like a residue? Like, you know, I don't know, do spirits leave residue?
I don't, without being like a spirit expert, I don't really know. I only know what I've learned over the years. You know, I'm a plant person. You know, more than anything else.
Just like, go after the fucking dirt.
No, I use a portal and my hand goes
No!
through it and it stops your mouth way
No.
further down it. No.
No, darling, no. No. You're good at finding things, right?
If you're gonna ask if I can find the fox spirit, no, I can't. It's not
No.
my realm.
No. I was just thinking, what if we did our homework, you and I, together?
Do you want us to leave?
No.
No, not in that way. No.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, I
Beta.
was just thinking,
Sorry.
Nella's good at finding things, you know, and time and teleporting and stuff like that, you know, locating objects and such and whatnot. And I'm good with, well, time and fate and voodoo dolls. Do you think if we had some kind of semblance or connection to said spirit, maybe in a physical form, such as a doll or whatnot, we might be able to combine our powers to possibly locate something similar? Or maybe a
Whilst-
trace or something?
Whilst you're talking, Alfie, the hand through the portal kind of picks up a bit of dirt, just a tiny bit, and like a centimeter worth of dirt, like picks it up and holds it out for you, whilst Nella's looking at Sasha, stuff like that. She
I like go so quickly for the dirt that I actually end up accidentally biting your hand.
yeah, and I take it back like with like yeah, totally, we could try that. Or of course, if Greg has any other ideas to help a bunch of teenagers try to solve a massive problem while our mentor is away.
Well, I think he did. You know that dirt he was throwing in the White Room to locate...
That's grave dirt.
Well, grave dirt. It's all the same, essentially, right? Like
Still
dirt is
dirt.
dirt and dirt.
No.
It's kind
Definitely
of still
different
dirt.
All right, fine. The grave dirt. All right, you were throwing it around, and it was growing and essentially locating like the leftover residue of a tear, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way to physically use that residue and put it in something physical?
I mean, if you got some dirt from the spirit realm, I suppose you could do something like that.
And you're
I
the
mean,
dirt
but
man, right? So you would know.
you,
Right, Greg?
I mean, the pair of you also, you say you're like time and space and fate and what have you, right?
Yes.
Well, this is obviously a portal to another area of our plane of existence. Can you not detect where it's led to? We're on the second floor. This is not the second floor.
Yeah, but that's how this house is kind of weird. It basically lets you go anywhere you want.
Ooh, didn't know that. How interesting.
Yeah. Well, if you go outside and you open a door and you imagine what you want to find in it, you'll most likely find in it. Except if it's a living thing, the house doesn't do that. Also, if you just want to open the next door and land outside where you came from, that's also like an option. Just throwing it out there, you know. Not that we want to get rid of you, Greg, but
Ooh, I mean, you'd be hard pressed in the nicest way possible. So I mean, there's that possibility. I mean, in that case, realistically speaking, you knew, well, vaguely knew Kira, right? And you knew, like, was it Kit, the spirit fox, right? So if
yeah.
the house does change round to suit the wills of the person, and would
I have.
yes,
Greg?
Oh no, you go.
I will let you finish.
You
but
sure? You said you had an idea.
No. I'm gonna let you finish, but
Okay,
before you finish,
right?
everyone stay right here. And Sasha will start skipping out the door.
Oh,
I would
God,
like to
okay.
go to my I'd like to go to my room.
Okay.
I'm going to grab that doll of Kira
Okay.
by the little plant sticking out of the wall.
Yeah.
And I'd like to bring it back.
Did you set fire to it?
No, I dunked the other dolls, Shelby, and like the other charred. Yeah, but Kira's was still intact, so I kept that one.
Thrown at the
That one I
plant
took
in the
out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then I took it out really quickly before it was burned, and I put it next to the plant.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Yes, you can do that.
Okay, I will quickly, jaunt back, skip back. I will hold my cane and my hand behind my back, and then I will point my cane at Greg.
I exhale as if I've been holding my breath the entire time that she's been going.
He maybe has
Yes.
been holding his breath the entire time.
Hey! Oh wow, that's impressive.
You told me to wait here. I was
Right.
very confused.
He was almost
Greg.
going to die for 7 times.
You said that spirits can be bound to somebody's soul, correct?
Technically, well, from what I understand, yeah.
Or an item, or
an
which
item.
would, yes, whatever, yes. It could. So what if we had some sort of remnant of Kira that we could use? Could we essentially track said spirit if it as I would say it had a weird spiritual connection to any type of remnant of Kira in this plane?
I mean, theoretically, but you probably need someone who does spirit magic to be able to see the trail. I mean, there's old school magic, but that's kind of like wild magic and what have you, before it was spheres and all that jazz. And even then, I don't even know if that still works.
Well, what I'm saying is, what if we had some sort of a little call sign, some kind of a thread. There we go, thread.
Theoretically.
A thread that essentially is of Kira, not her soul, but a thread that could connect her to her spirit.
Okay, so I think I get what you're saying. There's a couple of things that I would say. So first of all, if you had something that was of either Kit or Kira, and you sort of like tied it to a string, it should, if it's part of the spirit world and part of their spirits, it should slowly drag like towards them because it's part of their spirit. Theoretically, I mean, I'm not a spirit mage, so I'm not entirely sure. The other thing we need to consider is, like I said, if this entire house changes for the will of whoever it is that wants to go somewhere, where is it that Kit would want to go other than to find Kira? Potentially to somewhere that they're comfortable with or they feel at home, depending on what the spirit is. Potentially to cause all kinds of mayhem, because depending on what the spirit is, or potentially to find their master if it was a friendly entirely scenario, you know?
All right. That being said, thank you, Greg. Nell, if I were to give you an item, do you think we could possibly try to, I don't know, use magics together to try and tug on said thread? Obviously, we're not versed in spirit magic, but I mean, time and fate. And what if I could possibly alter fate in our favor, and you use your space punching magic to
the other thing
help
that's
find
worth
the
knowing
correct
is
door?
the other thing that's worth knowing is Alfie, you can break through to like the soul realm, can't you?
Yeah,
Spirits have to die as well at some point.
but they don't really go to the same place, right? And I don't.
They do
really...
know. Depends on the circumstance. Depends if the spirit's been made mortal on the mortal plane of existence, I suppose.
All right, well, I have this doll, and she will hold it up. And it's just, you just see this cute little red-headed doll, you know, that looks very similar to Kira.
Kind of weird, but all right.
I don't really have ones for you. I just have I just have Kira's. Doesn't it look cute? Gave her little button eyes, you know, the same color of her eyes.
Nell absentmindedly pats her jacket where all this time still the doll of Merlin has been inside. And kind of goes, yeah, uh-huh. Cute.
Well, this is obviously a voodoo doll. I'm sure you've all, you know, heard of the stories and whatnot and stuff. And, you know, if I stab it, you know, it could hurt, you know, blah, blah, blah kind of thing. But it has I've made this doll in basically a connection with Kira. I don't know if it's still active. I don't know if it works at all, but I was thinking this could be our little string, a little thread.
And Kira was connected to Kid. And Nell has this like finally thinks of this, even though you've already voiced this like minutes ago, it's finally sunken in. Like, right. I mean, I've never tried it, but like technically if Kit wasn't of the spirit realm, like I could maybe try to find him, but since he's of the spirit realm, I'm not sure that would work. But I guess
right now, he isn't really in the spirit realm though, is he? He's now on the material realm, our realm.
Right. So like technically, like if how Merlin would say it, like theoretically speaking, I should be able to find the overlap between us and him, but the fox.
Alfie.
Yeah.
You heard Greg. We don't really know, you know, when spirits die, where do they go? Especially if they were made on the mortal plane.
Right.
So maybe you could help us? It'll be a, what do they call it? It would be a team project.
Or even maybe Alfie, because, you know, he was really impressed with what you did earlier. You were real good. Like, the other thing that you could do is try and grab the spirit of somebody that can see the spirit realm, like a shaman of some description, or a mage of old.
I could make another doll. And you see her, like, dig into her coat, and she pops out a
One
voodoo
thing
doll.
I will say though, I'm a bit loose on the old voodoo and what have you, but the fact that the voodoo doll is still in one piece does imply that Kira's probably not dead.
Sesha, could you
Uh-huh.
roll me an intelligence and occult, please? I believe that's 6 dice.
Nell just looks so happy that
Yeah,
Craig
it's
just
sick.
said that she's not dead.
Damn. It's a good roll. 4 successes and a crit. So that's
Sesha is ignoring the comment of like, oh, you're probably alive. Like she's ignoring it. She's focusing on. But she pops out. You just see her like rustle into her long coat and just pops out a blank voodoo doll with eyes and like this like sewn on smile. This like really creepy sewn on smile.
So, Sesha,
Yes.
as you're going through this and you're telling Nell how the doll is connected to Kira, you realize that the doll is connected to Kira. Which means that for you, you might be able to discern her fate for sure through the doll.
I will give the blank voodoo doll to Alfie.
Yeah.
Here, put a shaman in
I
it.
do not take it.
Yep.
What? It's cute. Put the shaman in it.
You
It's
and
a
I have
thing.
very different ideas of what cute is.
Okay, listen. I only work with what I have. Remember?
I
You know
will
who- you know
work
who
with
is
what
my
I
mentor,
can
right?
get. I'm gonna just go around the room and just like
She
get like
she
some
rolls her
small-
eyes and gives it to Nell very gently.
No,
Yeah,
no,
just in case she
Nell
can't find
holds
anything.
out like both hands and
just
she's like, no, not cute. No, I'm not holding that. No,
Fine,
I'm not
Greg,
holding
would
your
you-
creepy voodoo doll.
I
Greg
will
the
take
doll.
your voodoo doll. All right.
Thank you.
Now, what were you doing, Alfie?
While she's looking for that,
Yeah.
she's gonna kind of like
So,
into the corner.
well, for this session, you'll need preparation. You'll need to mark out runes and circles and, essentially inscriptions. This will take quite a while to set up. If you want
She
to...
whips out a pen,
Okay.
starts jotting on her hand.
Oh, no, I'm talking like a proper mage pentacle.
No, she's writing notes,
Oh, okay.
like a reminder.
Alright.
All right, she waits for Alfie.
So I'll just pick up some like loose wood and pieces that are in the room that kind of have been already ripped up. And I'm just gonna form them into like almost like a just like a head. So that it doesn't have the ability to kind of like run around or anything.
Okay.
I just want it to be able to speak. So oh, that's so creepy. Oh my god.
Perfect.
I love it. I hate it. I love it. I don't know.
No.
It's so I'll like form it into almost like a very like Wilson looking head, almost like the basket. Yeah. From Castaway. So I'll do that and then I'll be like, okay. Shaman, spirit related. That might be a little powerful for me to pull through the veil, but I'll try.
I can help.
Especially- You can pull things through the veil?
No, but I can help by like lending you some of my power while you do it.
You can do
I do a
that?
little bit of that whole like life death thing. That's the reason why I'm a groundskeeper. So
Oh. Okay.
I hold out a hand to like pause it, whatever they're doing, and then just look at Greg and say, like, you do realize that you being the only adult in this room while we concocted this plan and you're kind of going along with it kind of makes you the responsible one in this room, right?
I am upsettingly aware of this fact.
Right. And then I like lower the hand and then I let them continue.
the teenagers in the room are not liable for any injury, death, or or damage that may be caused to property during the ritual.
In Greg's mind, the only thing he's thinking about is a rampaging spirit right now. So.
And also what Guinevere would think of a rampaging spirit.
Yeah.
Probably not great.
He went down. The Guinevere went, go check on them. I'm too angry to deal with this right now. Go check on their mental state and make sure they're not going to break the fabric of space-time continuum.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, you have a rampages. Oh shit. I got to deal with this now. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just be like, are we ready?
I put my hand on your shoulder.
Ugh.
It's all right. It's only me. You should be able to. I should be able to assist this way. You see.
So, what you're able to do, Greg, using life, is to essentially bolster the essential essence for Alfie. Alfie, what you'll feel is you'll feel more vitalized. You'll feel more energetic. You'll feel more powerful to a certain degree. Essentially, it's like a energy booster shot, pretty much.
Okay. So I will just close my eyes for a second and like just kind of slowly open the veil. Stick my hand through, and I just want to like not grab anything, but just kind of like have the spirits kind of like run through my hands, like my fingers, and just try to almost like get a sense like every time they pass me, just to like feel a little bit of what they are.
Yeah.
And feel like the weaker ones, the more powerful ones, the ones that are more magically attuned, like those who are like have memories and stuff. And I'm just gonna like wait until I feel one, and then almost like try to follow the current of that one.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't take too long. Nothing very powerful, but
knowledgeable enough.
Yeah. As you search, it's hard to tell the knowledge they possess, but in digging through the veil, you can tell. I guess the age, the time spent. Invariably, to take someone like Beta as an example, Beta had a lot of knowledge because he'd been around in the Veil for ages. Having been sacrificed in blah 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 BC, basically. And so you can look for one that isn't powerful but is older,
Yeah.
probably more knowledgeable. And essentially scoop, and it's like one quick motion where you just kind of scoop, and you have this almost like sand, but it's kind of like smoky black, and there's like wisps of smoke coming off the top of it. You just slam it down into the Wilson head.
Yeah. And then I'll like as I kind of slam it down, I'll just I'll quickly kind of like bring my hand back up and seal the tear in the veil, and just kind of be like, hi.
That was a good one.
What knowledge do you want from the other side, Mage?
Well,
You
first
should
of
put him in the
all,
voodoo doll.
I just like look over at Sasha, be like,
She's smiling really big, like wow, like very innocent. Wow, amazed.
I look over towards the head and I say, first of all, thank you for being so cordial about this. I know it can be very jarring, but I appreciate your time. We're looking for some information about the spirit realm.
We are the dead, and we know nothing of spirits. What knowledge do you wish from the other side, Mage?
I thought we got a
Have
shaman
you-
or something.
What did I just say?
She shrugs.
Do you know of a spirit made natural, almost mortal, in the shape of a fox, who might be roaming the realm?
Spirits are made of life and creation. They never come to rest over in the Vale.
Okay. Do you happen to also recognize the soul of a mage named Kira? Very powerful.
We know of none by that name. They have not crossed over yet.
Okay. Do you happen to know of any souls that would have previous knowledge, living knowledge of the spirit realm?
No.
Okay.
And none that you could summon here.
You knew. Never mind. Really good, dude.
Whoa! Whoa, 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 1 minute here. Alfie, you're just going to take that? You're just going to
What?
take his answers at
Sasha!
face value?
Sasha! For the love of God! Shh. Thank you very much. I appreciate your answering of the questions. Would you like me to return you to your realm?
Before we go, we will say one more thing.
Of course.
We have marked you, Fate Weaver, and your transgressions. Beware, witch. Beware. Beware.
I am opening the fucking veil and tossing this thing back in it. Nope.
Nell looked like
What
a
was this
proud mother there for a moment when like Alfie was speaking up, but then it changed.
And it kind of trails off with the and it kind of cuts off into like a scream.
When,
I'm sorry, did he
when that
threaten you?
happens, I'm just gonna go over and put my hand around Alfie's shoulder and just be like, "Don't worry, they say stuff like that all the time."
I don't think he was talking to me. And I
Oh,
just
really?
look over at Sesha.
Who, me? You think he was talking to me?
I don't weave fate, Sesha.
I wouldn't plan on dying anytime soon, Sasha.
I don't plan on dying.
I don't.
But then again, I don't really, I'm not really, against the whole dying aspect either,
Sesha,
What?
can you take something seriously for once in your life?
I am.
This old ass like spirit that has been around since forever understands that you're a problem, and you can't even open up this realm. So somehow, because it's not me, I don't weave fate.
I mean, we all weave a little fate, don't we?
I do not
Nah,
weave
not really.
fate. And this is probably like the loudest you've heard Alfie speak at this point. Like, I don't weave fate. I've never wanted to weave fate. I will never weave fate. That is not my deal. I make things. I have people, souls, things inhabit these things. I do not mess with how things turn out in the end for people. Okay? So
Alfie,
this thing was not talking to me. It was talking to you. And I, for one, am very hesitant to bring back anything that's going to start to like mess with anything if it's going to try to go through me to get to you. So you better fucking fix your shit up.
Alfie, we
What?
all weave a little fate.
We do not.
All right.
You-
Hi, time out. Time out.
Let
How
me
about that?
finish.
I'm like,
Let me
I'm like,
finish.
at this point,
She's very, very calm, by the way, and she's
Yeah.
she's not smiling anymore
Mhm.
at this
at
point.
this point,
she's not
I've-
playful. She's not playfully smiling.
At this point,
Alfie.
I've basically turned the head into, like, I've broken the head into, like, shards.
Wait,
Like,
you throw it into the veil, so.
I thought I pulled the, oh, okay. Well, if I pulled the head out, if I,
You put, okay, in that case, yeah, fine.
Yeah.
That's
I'm, like, holding the head, but, like,
yeah, it's kind of
I'd probably just, like, shattered it, like, just in my hands, just be like, I have worked really, really hard to keep myself alive for these years, okay? For my entire life, despite many things trying to kill me, including accidentally myself. So if you are gonna be the death of me, then by all means, maybe, try to figure out how to not do that.
You take souls and you put them in things, right? That's your
I
thing,
borrow
right?
them. I
You
borrow
still
them.
sorry, you borrow souls and you put them in things, right? And then you send them back, right?
All the time.
Well, no, all the time.
Except for
All
you.
right, Beta, you're an exception. We all know this. You're special, all that kind of jazz. Yes,
Thank you. Just want to be acknowledged.
of course. Alfie, what you don't realize is you are weaving their fate by taking them out of a realm and putting them in a thing. Whether it's very small and tiny, you are indeed changing their fate instead of letting them rest. Even
Their
though you
fate is
put
that
them
they're
back.
dead.
No.
Hurtful.
Their fate is that they're dead.
Hurtful. Why?
Death isn't the end, though. Alfie, dear.
well
You prove
aware.
that with your own magic.
I'm well aware, but I
So-
don't also destroy souls for the fun of it, because why would I?
I don't destroy souls for the fun of it.
Okay, pause. Did I think that this thing was really actually speaking to me or speaking? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Just Beta was mumbling to himself for a second there. The only person Fate Weaver could mean would be Sesha. Yeah.
Sasha, I don't know what brain hoops you are jumping through to think that this is not you.
I'm not
Okay.
denying it's not me, but however, I'm just stating the fact that we all weave a little fate.
All right. Hey. And I
I'm gonna
kind of
lose
come
it. I'm
between
gonna
the
lose
two.
it.
And I
I'm-
no. And I turn to Alfie and I say, turn it into one piece. One piece.
I look at Greg and I go,
All of it.
am I wrong?
Hey, and you, and I turn over to Sesha and I say, you can do whatever you want, but maybe be grateful that someone actually cares, that another person, being, whatever, threatened your life or your fate or whatever. Maybe try to care about that and not.
She doesn't care about my fate. She just cares that she's an instrument in it.
Yeah, well, you just got threatened by a very old soul.
And I got threatened by another one that called me sister. I get threats all the time.
Yeah, all right, so you don't care about your life. Anyway, and I turn back to Alfie. Is that one piece?
It's back in one piece, but it is a very messy piece. It's
All right,
not.
I touched a piece and a piece disappears. Poof.
Well,
She's now have like the stimmy hands, but she has nothing to have like to put anything in them. So she's just
I
like,
take a whatever I can find in the room, like a cushion or something, like a cushion, a pillow.
Pillow,
I take a
cushion, yeah.
pillow and I put it in between the grabby hands. It's like one of those heart pillows.
I am changing the shape and the constant, like whatever the thing is made of. I am making it into like metal, then putty, then
It's like one of those squishy stress balls that just like.
I'm basic, but I'm like changing it each time, and it's like changing color, and it's like kind of very. It looks like, I don't know. You know, like how octopi or squids, they change their like their
Yeah.
coloring very often, so it looks like it's doing that because it's like in a fucking panic.
I turned to
How
Greg.
about we go and look for a spirit that's out there?
Greg?
Yes. This
I
here
was
is all
thinking-
very interesting, by the way. Just thought
I
I'd throw
know.
that out there.
I know, right? I mean, I'll just have to add it to my list of things, and other worldly beings that have threatened me before. So,
I can't believe you're not taking this seriously.
Oh, no. Let's take a moment, Alfie, right? There's a very good chance that Sesha is very much taking this seriously. But the way that Sesha copes with taking it seriously is by brushing it off. Because at the end of the day, there's only so many threats you can have to your life before you start just becoming normalized to it.
2!
and
She's had 2 in like a week.
as far as you know, I've had a lot more, actually. I've actually
Well,
had
I'll say-
several
Of
villages
2.
and towns.
All I'm going to say, friends, is that
Not
Well.
friends.
death waits. Just remember that. Death is very, very patient.
And
It is.
Also, good news. Not that anyone seems to care, but Kira's still alive. It seems.
That as well. We learned that Kira's still alive. Definitely
But-
hasn't crossed those gates.
Some of us never doubted that, right? Right?
Always
Confirmation.
worthwhile.
It's confirmation.
I mean, I think it was.
Beta, no.
I doubt it a little bit, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, you never know.
Anyways,
Oh, yes,
So-
where were we?
No.
So we did get a nice spirit, and well done, Alfie. That was great. You actually managed to pull a nice old one there. I was very impressed. That was
such
great.
a golf claps.
I mean,
You got it in there, and we found out the very important news that Kira isn't dead. Okay, that's very good. That is very good, eh? And then you also got a warning about the immortal soul of our dear friend here, Miss Sesher. Okay, but again, that's not what we got to worry about right now, is it? No, of course it isn't. But the other
Okay.
thing is that we've got to remember that that Sesher, Alfie just talked about the fact that even with looking after herself, she said that she's part of your little team. Like she said she didn't want to be in the way of any spirits trying to get to you, which means
Which means
that
she
means
doesn't
they'll be
want-
around.
She just said that she's been trying to stay alive for a very long time, and if I have anything to, deal with her dying, it wouldn't really be good. All in all, it's, self-preservation. I don't blame her, and I'm not mad at her either for it.
But
There's
at the
no hard
same time,
feelings
it
over
means
it.
she's going to be around when you need it.
Sasha,
Possibly.
we all worked together to deal with Moonface because we all needed to make sure that we stayed alive. One of us didn't really make it that way. They're still alive, but inaccessible. And I am still now wrapped up in all this, and I'm still gonna try to keep your ass alive, even though you're probably gonna be killed. Oh my gosh, you're gonna get me killed.
All right, so if we know that Kira is alive and is connected to my doll, usually what this means is I could technically whisper things and whatnot into the person via the voodoo doll. But since she's not here in the material current plane we're in, I doubt that my words would reach her. I don't really know how the whole spirit realm and communication there works, but I would assume that I might be able to call on that connection between her and Kit.
While you ask that,
Hmm.
to Sheepy, just to say that Nell will crouch down in front of Alfie and say something to her then, but I'll do that after.
You can't really connect that way, but you can access Kira's fate. essentially you can see snippets of her future or her past. You can tell like the line of where she's headed, or the possibilities of where she's headed, that type of thing. It's kind of subtle and stuff, but it could give you insight into something.
Tell me, Sasha, how do you make these your voodoo dolls?
Wait, very quickly before you get into it,
Oh.
Nell is
Yeah,
whispering
yeah.
something to
Very quickly.
Alfie.
No, it's quite all right.
I
You go
will.
right ahead.
While Sesha is explaining all of that and like monologuing on, Nell will crouch down in front of Alfie, and kind of say like, "Hey, look at me. You don't need to be afraid of Sesha getting you killed, all right? Because you will make sure that your death isn't on anyone else's other hands. No one else is going to be blamed if or when you die. You will be the one who has all of that in their own hands. Because you don't want anyone else to be blamed, right? Right. So you don't want anyone else to be blamed. Then be confident. If you don't want to die, then you're not going to die. Because you're going to make damn certain you won't. Alright? It's that simple, Alfie. Trust me. People may say other shit to you, but I've had one too many deaths thrown on me, blamed on me, and I'll never do the same. Alright? Give me a little vocalization.
Thank you.
You just could have said, all right, you didn't need to thank me, but yeah, I'll take it. And I stand up, turn back to the group.
You? I was just asking Miss Sesher how the voodoo dolls are made themselves.
Well, usually, the whole doll thing is usually at Baba's, but I've kind of adapted it to my own little thing, and sometimes it's a little bit therapeutic, but, you just take a voodoo doll, and you put some kind of catalyst or a little thread of a person, their spirit, their soul, whatever the heck you call it, I don't know, into a said doll. And if you ask me, if the doll looks extremely similar to them, the stronger the connection. But I can't really prove that.
I mean, that would make sense a little bit, but theoretically speaking, you've got a bit of the essence of Kira in there. Now, if theoretically a young fox friend did go in search of Miss Kira, then there was a good possibility that we could use this doll as bait, at least to get the spirit back within the realms of vague control.
Can I run out of the room?
Yes.
Dude,
All right,
So
look
without
about-
explaining, Nell runs out the room.
Tom Cruise again.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, like booking it. And she books it to the outside of the door and to the next door, which should just be because Kira took another floor, so there should be empty rooms, quote unquote.
There's only one.
All right, so I book it up the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah. To the next corridor, to just find an empty door.
Okay.
So in my mind, possibly thinking, Shelby said not to make the house too big, but I'm like, oh well. I book it up the stairs, go to an empty door, and I hold my hand on the door handle, and I try to envision Kit there.
Okay.
And I want to open the door with the expectation of finding Kit there. The way I first saw him, of course.
Yeah. You open the door.
Yes.
You open the door to an empty room with a little bed on it that says Kit. And in the bed is a straw kind of fox. Just lying there.
I go in and I reach down, take the bed and the straw fox. Take another look around the room because I'm like, no, right. And I pick it up and I go back down to the other room where the others are tip tap.
Welcome back.
Yeah, and I kind of hold this in my hands. I just thought that maybe silly. We had thought about it before that if we tried to open one of the doors and expected to find Kit there, might, show Kit. But
Oh, Nell.
there's this. The bass, the fox isn't real, but I look around the room. Is there a similar kind of basket around the room, or is this the only one?
Not anymore.
Huh.
Nell, I don't think. See, it's like Alfie said.
This
spirits are
is-
just really unpredictable, and they're just a bit.
This.
They're chaotic. Alfie,
Yeah.
you said that spirits are chaotic, right? Chaotic, just there's no order. It's just creation and all this kind of stuff, right?
Pretty sure I said that.
Oh yes, Beta.
Beta
Thank you.
said that.
Thank you, Beta.
Here to help.
What if spirits, if we can't tug a thread to lead us to the spirit, what if we just have the spirit come to us? Possibly.
Oh my god, you're gonna get us killed.
No.
As you're talking, if anyone's looking over towards Greg, his eyes on focus for a second. Greg, you've been summoned. It's time.
Oh, all right, okay, all right. Hold that thought, because we all need to leave like now. All right, I'm afraid to tell you, game over scenario. We're not game over scenario. Calm yourselves. It's all right. It's not a problem. But
Again,
No, we don't have time. We need
I'm
to.
sorry.
No. We need to.
No. Trust me. This isn't something you can avoid. We're all gonna go downstairs, jump in my old car, and we're gonna go meet Lady Guinevere. So we're gonna go. You can do all these testings and stuff later, because at the end of the day, I'm more afraid of Lady Guinevere personally than I am of a rampaging spirit. Okay.
I book it out the door, like scrambling past people, like just go up to my room, grab...
before they can even leave, like Sasha's she's really angry right now. Like she's actually very irritated. She's no longer smiling. She is just like, we're gonna do this. We're going to wait. We're waiting.
We don't have to go right now. I am running.
She's going to stomp her foot, and she's just going to shout. She's going to shout. Stop!
Is it going to cast a spell?
She's going to channel everything she has in her, and reach really, really deep inside to attempt to stop the room. Okay. She's only really stopped a couple objects, and slowly, but she hasn't really actually
In this instance,
Stop.
It would be time and gnosis.
Well, I wanted to try and use my the thing I talked to you about.
You want to use that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, we're all gonna die. Oh fuck.
So, this isn't something you have prepared. It would take
No.
you time to enact, enough time for them to. Essentially, you wouldn't be able to do it on a dime. So, it would essentially as things currently stand, you haven't made the spell, so you'd be doing it off the off your own.
Yeah. Like off the handle, not
Yeah.
actually like not actually rehearsed.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it, but I will say 2d10. It's going to be very difficult, and it's going to be very dangerous and unstable if you're just doing it on a whim like that. So if you're willing, then go for it.
No, I don't. Well, because it's on the dime, so I'm not going to. Because I was gonna try. Because I can't imbue myself with good luck or anything like that. So it's like I'm just.
No, it's
We're flying by the seat of our pants, everyone. They're going for a ride. Everyone, all aboard.
1 success. As you stamp your foot and say stop, you feel this freezing of fate and of time. And you try and manifest it. Essentially, you are taking the subjected areas out of fate and out of time in the same moment. And you feel your fingers freeze up. And you feel your hand freeze up, and your feet and your legs freeze up. Up to the elbow, up to the knee. As you look down, they are stone. And essentially you can't move. The spell has gone awry. You have severed the fate and time of your limbs, unfortunately. The good news is that it'll come back. It'll, revert soon. And also you've learnt a lesson here.
Did she do it to anybody else?
I learned new spell. I learned new spell.
Yeah, it backfired, unfortunately. So it essentially started with her and wasn't really powerful enough to expand past that.
Well, that happened. Oh, good lord! Right now, in the nicest way possible, we've got an appointment to keep.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey, about that. No one.
I'm now running out of the room to go grab like my laptop and stuff real quick. Like, I've just left.
Alfie can run. Point myself at Greg. Having glanced at Sasha turning her own legs into
she's
stone.
just kind of like, she's sitting here with her hands like open, just like kind of like what? And like they're like stone, and she's just kind of looking like, this is this thing that's happening.
You're kind of semi T-posed, FYI.
Yeah.
You never mentioned that we had to come with you to visit Guinevere.
I had no idea. If I'm completely honest with you, I just got the message right now. She tuned right into my brain and said, I want to see everyone. So
yeah, but is that everyone or is that just you? Because...
Oh, no, that's everyone. Trust me, I'm very aware of what my instructions are. So we should grab what you need and get out. Let's head over there and do, like, she seemed like she's calmed down, if that helps.
I am running back down the stairs now. Walking into the door. Is Sasha just like straight up made of stone?
No.
No,
Or
only
she's
My
frozen.
my arms my arms and my legs are pretty much like they're just like frozen in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to try and just like hold on to her arm, and almost like make it lighter, like or make her whole body lighter, so I could just like pull her out of the door. And is that not like? Can I not do that with matter?
It would be life.
Okay, never mind then.
Her being alive. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be like,
Don't worry, I'll sort this. I put my hands on the stone parts. Use life.
If you like, instead of essentially affecting Sasha, because there's the whole stone thing, it's a little bit weird. You can just essentially concentrate for a moment, and then suddenly like your shirt rips a little bit as you like muscles just go.
Don't worry, I got this. Muscly Greg, let's go.
damn.
It's all right, this way I wear the overall. It's got the room to maneuver.
I really
I'm-
still don't get why we're going to Guinevere.
Can I speed up? Can I speed up the process of like, or speed up time, for myself, like physically,
Yeah, you can speed
So
up
the-
time for yourself.
so it can like where I don't know if it like would work that way. If I sped up the time, if like the petrification would like cease over time. If I sped up my body
So
personally.
the spell that you were trying to enact severs the subject from time and from fate, essentially making it.
Oh, so it can't be affected by time. Got it.
can't-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's,
that's cool.
It's gonna be interesting if she perfects that one.
Immortal Sesha.
Okay, so are we all ready? We're all
Time
ready
is
to go?
me a construct.
I'm running out of the door and like leaving the door open so that like he can bring her out properly, and looking for the car.
Oh, you won't miss it.
What kind
It
of
is
car is it?
Directly outside the front of the house, and it is a Volkswagen van that looks like the Mystery Machine.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
that's
my
amazing.
god, nice.
Looks
Yeah.
just identical to the Mystery Machine. It even says Mystery Machine across the side of it in full, definitely not copyrighted version. It's all right.
Yeah, it is.
I open the back, and if there's room to jump in, I will do so.
Nell, you joining
Sure.
us?
I really, really don't get how or why or how this is any good of an idea.
You don't ask the questions of the council members, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna let you take them and just throw them to the lions.
Very honorable of you. I won't be throwing anybody to anybody if I can help it.
Yeah, well, you often have double meanings to things you say, so mean could also be to your actions.
Good to have your suspicions up, that's true.
I'll follow last.
But here you go, Sesher. I'll get you all strapped in now. Don't worry, I'm sure that'll wear off eventually. I'm sure.
I don't know. Maybe.
I'll hold open the door for Nell. Have you got everything?
I take the door and I like kind of under his hand, like kind of slide mine in so that I'm holding the door. I'm like, I'm fine. I can hold my own door. Thanks.
Just being a bit chivalrous. It's all right. Right, let's go. Jump into the driver's seat. Right, we're not meeting her at the usual location. She's downtown somewhere. Hold on. I'll focus out a little bit and then focus back in. Okay, I know where we're going. Like, here we go.
Are we just meeting Guinevere
That's right. Yep.
and not Baba Yaga, not Morgan, not?
I couldn't tell you who else is there. I
Merlin.
don't know.
Hmm.
In the nicest way possible, I've only got connection to my lady.
Nell.
I just work here.
I just work here.
Yeah, I shuffle in and I close the door and I look to the front door again.
I look at Nell. Can't you, like, ping pong?
I look at her. I look to the front.
She's like hinting, like maybe you should go, like, because she said it out loud too. Like, oh, are we just meeting Guinevere? We're not meeting any of the other mentors. So she's like, that's why she's like hinting to Nell, like, that's why she said ping pong, because she remembers her doing that when they were displaying their powers.
I imagine that Alfie maybe took front like shotgun potentially.
No, she's in the back.
Yeah.
She's in the back.
But
Might crawl to the front if people start crawling into the back.
yes.
It's like less
Okay.
the less people, like, she doesn't want to be around people, and also like the rare opportunity to go shotgun. Sure.
So Nell like looks sweaty at Sasha's things and just tells Alfie, "Hey Alfie, I'm sure during the drive that Greg would love to hear about your sicycle and your biblical chairs. Why don't you tell him?"
Do you want to hear about them?
Would be impolite not to listen, right, Greg?
As we're driving, Greg is completely zoned out.
Yeah, he's
Like-
he's
Look, he's
Glazed.
he wants to know. Talk about it, Alfie.
He
Okay.
seems, attentive. I guess like he's an ear.
I mean, he's not vehemently saying no. So
Yeah.
Alfie's just gonna be like, kind of like carefully at first, just like, so I got really mad at Sesha, and then like, cause she took Beta, and like I'll have like Beta kind of like chip in a little bit too, just so that we're both kind of engaged, but we're mostly talking to each other.
Yeah.
And even with him not responding, she'll just like keep talking faster and faster, and like, getting more animated, be like, yeah, and then I saw this thing on this forum, and like I think it was like 4chan or something, and I had like this whole thing with like with eyeballs, and it's like,
Well,
Yeah.
and Reddit had it
question.
too.
So-
And it's like she's like name dropping all these
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
like she's a big internet nerd and shit. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so she's just rambling on, and like
So
not
while
paying
she's
attention.
doing that, I have a question. So if I can't manipulate time or fate on myself,
Mm.
per se, am I allowed to do it to other people still? How does that work?
Currently, at the very least, you feel a very diminished ability to influence things. So
Okay, because I wasn't sure if I could imbue
go.
good luck to
Mm,
Nell, or if it would just be even just like a tiny little tick or anything, because I wasn't sure how the whole magic thing worked. If I have like if my limbs are like not affected by time and fate.
yeah. Essentially, what you can take from that is pretty much that you've kind of you've not exactly severed, but you've diminished your own ability to access your abilities, which means with more practice and with more time, you might be able to figure out a way to sever mages from their abilities. But it's something you'd have to work, like you'd need, like one of the things you've learned, I guess, is that the more big and powerful something you're making, the more you need to practice.
Okay, so well, because I guess that's like I wanted, because I think Nell is like on the same page as Sesha after she loudly was like, "Oh, we're meeting specifically just Guinevere."
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk still.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once Nell successfully gets Alfie to also start rambling to Greg, now being a bit more certain that he is fully occupied, even though he already seemed that way, I'll kind of turn to the side and say, yeah, I can do that. He doesn't necessarily know I can do that yet. I don't trust whatever this is, but I also know that what you're gonna say is that I could possibly go to Merlin. But the thing is, I can't. I'm not certain that I could go to Merlin because Merlin will not be at his house because they're having a council meeting to punish Shelby.
Can I? Oh,
And the car stops.
Well, I guess you better learn how to jump multiple people if Miss Guinevere isn't in a good mood. And she smiles.
We are here.
Let's hope I do it without fucking burning myself.
And Greg steps out of the van and stands by the side waiting for you. You are in front of a big, like, there's a big kind of like parking lot area, a big kind of warehouse type thing. A few people like moving back and forth, like pushing carts and things like that.
Kind of can't move, you know. Limbs are inert at the moment.
Walks to the back of the van, opens it up, reaches in, and he's still got the kind of like muscles, picks you up and says, "Follow me."
Oh, thank you.
Turns and starts walking towards the doors of the warehouse.
Yeah, I wait for Alfie to get out.
Okay.
I would have kind of been like, oh, okay. Oh, this looks like my second or third home. Cool.
And then once you're all gathered with him, he starts walking. He walks through the doors. He's pretty, like, he's not very chatty, let's say. And as he walks through the warehouse, you see other people, like hard hats, visibility jackets, like walking up and down in kind of like a very absent, doing their jobs, you know, very distracted by doing their jobs and all that type of thing. As you walk towards another set of doors, he kind of has you under one arm like that. He pushes the doors open and they open to this big kind of like open industrial warehouse type place. And in front of you, you see people on hangers, kind of like this, rows and rows and rows and rows of people. As Greg turns round and sets you down, Sesha, he walks over towards the hangers, steps up, puts one arm over, puts the other arm over, and his head goes down. And in the distance, just down the warehouse a little bit, you hear the sound of clapping.
Well, you certainly fucked that up, didn't you? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Grigori Rasputin.
And we will end there for today.
What the fuck?
Wow!
What the fuck? Yo!
Wow!
Bro, no. Bro, no.
Oh my
A
god.
fucking wardrobe change.
So I'd like to welcome our guest, Rasputin, one of the council members.
Wait, like Rasputin isn't all?
Like Rasputin, yeah.
Yeah, like Rasputin,
We're so fucked.
Rasputin,
We're
yeah.
so fucked.
I was excited.
We're all kinds of
I
absolutely.
had a fucking big mouth to Rasputin.
If you'll look at the overlay, you'll see it now says Rasputin instead of Greg.
Holy fuck.
I was fucking closer to being right, but still not quite.
Yeah.
Holy shit. We're fucked. We're so fucked, you guys.
What the fuck?
Oh.
Take a moment. It's cool.
Yeah.
This was so
If there's
much
any
fun
consolation,
to-
your faces were totally worth it.
So
Like,
worth
that
it.
was exquisite.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I had a chat with Valen like before the weekend, and we kind of figured this out as like we figured out like how we wanted him to guess and what he wanted to do, and after he was he was like down for something, we were like, okay, let's do this. An entire episode where he just plays another character. Well, he doesn't really play another character, he was still Rasputin.
But like,
That's
a
not what I'm
thrall of
I'm so confused.
Rasputin?
There's just a bunch of puppets of Greg.
Well, no, they're alive.
They're all different people.
Yeah, there are people.
Hundreds
Oh
of
my
people
God.
just hung up in a big warehouse.
So fucked up, dude.
Remember Alfie checked if Greg was alive? He was alive.
Wait, so was he like brainwashed though?
Wasn't Rasputin also a vampire?
I was gonna say, wasn't he a vampire?
It's separate from the
Okay, this is like okay.
Baba Yaga was
As
I
Mage.
think Baba Yaga is also supposed to be a Nosferatu or something, but
Yeah. Well,
I thought Baba Yaga. Well, Baba Yaga also was supposed to be like 3 women.
yeah. At the end of the day, law.
Yeah.
Fuck, Vela, you did so good.
That was
So
so
good. That was so good.
That
I
was
saw that.
fucking nuts.
Oh, I was totally taken back by it.
Literally 2 minutes before Valen was going to be introduced, I was looking through and I saw one of the pieces of music I already had, and it's called like Enthusiastic, and it was that kind of like very friendly, almost Hobbit-esque song, which is like all happy and stuff. I was like, oh, I have to play that when he comes in, because it will, along with the character, it'll be so disarming.
Holy fuck.
God.
I'm going to enjoy this moment of stunned silence.
I'm so scared for next week.
So it's so interesting because like he clearly has powers to manipulate and control people, but then
Mine,
probably
probably.
so that seems like mind, and then also possibly life.
Possibly a lot.
Possibly a lot, honestly. Yeah.
He's a council member. So,
Yeah.
So he has probably a general knowledge of all of them, if anything. Okay.
But you were told
Holy
we were meeting
fuck.
Guinevere.
Yeah, we got debated.
That was called a lie.
Yeah.
We
Which
got
was
absolutely
hilarious
fucking-
because the actual clue there was exactly what Nell said. They were all in a council meeting to punish Shelby.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why she was confused. She's like, why are we just meeting Guinevere if they're all, that's why Sasha's was like, can't you just freaking ping pong somewhere? Like,
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god,
Fine.
Alfie just wants to stay alive, man. Like, Alfie's like, yeah, sure, all right. Like, if Guinevere says so, and Guinevere is apparently super scary, like, sure.
Oh,
Like-
Guinevere's
At
gonna give you
least-
shit for missing the council meeting as well. You know that, right?
at least, at least Alfie and Nell got to actually kind of like figure out their spells and stuff, in a positive way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
shatter reality. Yeah.
This
Hey, that's
entire
pretty.
thing has been.
At least you didn't,
Hey,
freeze your
those-
arms and legs.
As I've said, those aren't spells yet. Those are things you have access to that could go very, very. I said it could go very, very badly. Yeah, in other words, we'll get a chance, hopefully, in the future to get a little bit more spellcrafting done. And practicing. But today got a lot of it was eaten up by shouting at each other.
It was, but to be honest, it was so
was
perfect
great.
because Greg went in and came like, yeah, and you're bickering all the time, and every single time we were in a room together, or we like left and came back, people were bickering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Greg being like, hey, you're young, you're unstable, and they're like, how dare you call me unstable? I'm so angry.
It's not called unstable, it's being a teenager.
Yeah, so it's just like, hey, we're teenagers, we bicker and stuff, like that stuff that it happens, it's habits, like whatever.
It was that moment, that perfect moment we were comparing to high school, and I was just like, but high schoolers don't cause breaks in the fabric of space-time.
Yeah, they don't cause, they can't tear down
Not
reality,
really. Yeah. No.
And I just love that every time Nell is faced with authority, she's like turns into a lawyer, and she's like, we're not liable for any of this. This is your fault. We're teenagers.
Like she has experience with it.
It's like every time she talks to someone who's over the age of like 18, she immediately assumes they're a cop, and she's just like,
which was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because when Nell was like, you realize that you're going to take liability for this because you're a responsible adult, he was like, yeah, I'm a puppet. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm good. All right.
No, what was it? When Alfie summoned that spirit, I will admit, I was like half paying attention to what it said, and then the ending when it was like, like we know what you did. I'm like, such as like, huh? Me? Me?
I feel like
Not talking about me.
for the longest time, Sasha was like, this thing's threatening Alfie, and then it's like Fate Weaver, and it's like, wait, what? Me? Oh.
Wait, what?
What? Me? Is
I
me?
love
No,
that
no.
though, because it was the point where Alfie just boiled up and was just
Yeah.
like, why will you not fucking listen?
I was so
It's like,
proud.
yes.
Alfie has
Like,
been
it's-
so quiet and so
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
demure almost for this entire time, and like almost just been like pushed around by Sesha with every kind of like whim, I guess. But like I've made it so that Alfie's breaking point is if like, because her whole thing is that like she survives on very little and can make do with like with the things around her. But if other people start to deliberately come in and start fucking with her shit and like are a liability to her being alive, because the last thing she wants is to become a soul trapped in the fucking veil.
Yeah.
Like she sees how it happens. She's like, that's her biggest fear, is to like be stuck like that, which is why she also like keeps Beta close, like as a, almost like a favor. So the fact that Sesha's just like, yeah, no, we're fine. I'm just like, no, absolutely not. I'm not about this. Please, for the love of
That's why
God,
it's so
and
funny,
everything's good.
Because
Like-
Nell and like Greg are like, you should be happy, Sasha, that like Alfie, cares about your well-being. And Sasha's like, but she's not though. She's caring about her own skin, and I get threatened all the time, and it's just self-preservation. And she's not, Sasha isn't mad at Alfie for getting upset and wanting to, survive. But she also knows the reality is like Alfie doesn't really care about what happens to her. She just doesn't want to, be a casualty in it.
It's not entirely true at this point. Like at this point, we've kind of been through enough shit that like if something were to happen to you and Alfie could have prevented it, like she would try, because like.
Oh yeah, but Sasha is completely and utterly in denial of the concept of friendship. Completely and utterly in denial of that, like
and
that ever being a thing.
And consequences,
little.
ironically,
And consequences.
for someone who's
Yeah.
a Fate Mage.
Well, that's her thing though, is she
Yeah.
tempts fate all the time.
Yeah.
She's always tempting fate. She's always curious about it. She's always concealing destiny and that kind of stuff. So it's like, what better way to conceal it than just, act like it doesn't really affect you, Just like slough it off. Like she's been threatened so many times now. It's like, she's like, hey, like it's just another tally, like whatever.
Which is
Like-
that classic thing that Greg was saying. It was like, she does care,
Yeah.
but she
Yeah.
just has become jaded to it. It's
Damn.
just,
Yeah.
Realize that you could have cursed Rasputin.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Like Valid sent me a message
yeah,
during
we
that,
were
and he's like,
all in the background just being like,
he's like, what can I
With
do?
hiccups. Like with hiccups. And then
Yeah.
Alfie's like, no, not even with hiccups. And she's like, Nell's like, well, maybe with hiccups. And then, Sasha's like, well, it's just harmless. It's just hiccups, just
It would have
don't,
been so funny.
just don't hiccup with your eyes open kind of thing.
it was an interesting behind the scenes conversation between
Or
me
like
and
sneezing
Greg.
or whatever. Sneezing. Sorry, it was sneezing. Yeah, just don't sneeze with your eyes open kind of thing. Like that would
Yeah.
just be terrible to have some bad luck with us.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that was a
roll
lot
on
of fun.
next week.
I'm excited. This is gonna be so cool.
What could possibly go wrong, right?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
So
Oh, I love this. This is great.
we'll go around hot potato. I think I'd like to finish with Valen because I'd like to hear his thoughts on just everything, really. But
All right.
let's
I'll pull my pipe back out. My voodoo doll.
let's start with the unfortunate person who severed themselves from fate and time for a little bit, or at least partially. Sesha and also Kat. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, my name is I'm Kat, and I stream on Twitch. Username is I'm Kat, and I play Sesha, your lovely, sarcastic, curious, troublemaking, fate-weaving witch who somehow, not everything goes her way. She may have, good luck and predicting stuff or whatnot, but she doesn't know everything. So it was really interesting her trying to reach a little bit more with the whole controlling of time and fate bit. Though it may have backfired, this time.
You'll get there.
She's gonna keep working on it, a little bit at a time.
Fate
Weaver. So yeah. Fate Weaver. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Wait, no, is that me? Nah.
I saw your face when I said Fate Weaver, and you're like, oh god, he's talking to me.
I was like, oh wait, it's me. Oh no. I'm going to hot potato it over to the person who really cares about Sesha's well-being, Alfie.
Oh, Alfie and Vandy.
Hi, I'm Vandy. I play Alfie for you this week and previous weeks and in the coming weeks. And you can find me at OMG Vandy everywhere. I do mostly just role-playing stuff on various people's channels. So yeah, you can, honestly, if you want to keep up with anything, it's mostly just on Twitter. That's it. And I'm going to hot potato it over to the one person who actually cares. Nell! God, you're so good.
I got you, okay?
God,
I feel you.
Good bean.
Survival. Hi, I'm
He's a
Serene.
fucking cop.
I've been playing Nell or Eleanor, the space and forces mage who is very scared for next week because she had a big mouth to a person that might have a bunch of people on hangers in a building, which is not a good sign.
Didn't you threaten him too?
But hey, at least she cares, right?
Yeah.
At least she cares.
I'm sure that's gonna count for something.
You can find me at Stirrings on Twitter and Instagram. And last time I will promote the French Revolution vampire game because we will be airing the epilogue this Sunday or next Sunday. Depends. It's gonna be very emotional and I'm gonna probably cry. So yeah, and I will hot potato that to our lovely guest of 2 characters.
Well,
Oh, hello. How's it going? I'm Greg. Hello there. Don't mind me. And I'm also Grigory Rasputin. We'll just see how that goes next week, shall we? I'm Valen Vane. Vane by name, Vane by nature. You can find me pretty much on all social medias at Valen Vane. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to originally I was meant to come in just as an observer, but because of the ways that roleplay usually goes, the chaos that ensued by these wonderful people, I was like, oh right, okay, so this is going to turn into a bonding experience for 3 teenagers. Just came in to check on how you were doing, and oh yeah, bring you to Rasputin. That's always a nice one.
to Guinevere.
It was the way that you all like shat yourself when I first said Guinevere, and then as soon as I came out as Rasputin, you were just like, wait a minute, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
That made me very, very happy. Yeah, no, it was really, really good. It was really, really interesting to see the dynamics of as I was saying to the cast before, I've missed a couple of weeks just so that I wasn't spoiled by anything. And it's been really interesting seeing the cast dynamics and these complete and utter clash of personalities, and somehow they are working towards a positive future. Honest. Well, we'll see. But it was really good, and it was good to know that we've definitely got some concrete information here. And I look forward to coming back next week as Rasputin, and
Oh yeah.
we'll see where that brings us all, shall we? Love and picnics.
Absolutely.
Oh, I will hot potato over to the glorious, the wonderful GM of this wonderful show that is Mage Somnambulist, who is terrible at being very amazing to themselves. So naturally, I'm going to pick them up a little bit here. The wonderful Sheepy. Take it away, you glorious bean.
Hello, I have the potato. It's very hot. When me and Valen were talking about him coming in as Greg, you know, the farmer, and you know he's a groundskeeper. He's not even a threat. I said to him, you should say that essentially he should be saying that he's working for Guinevere, because when it's time to go to the meeting, if he says, "Hey guys, Guinevere will see you now," everyone's gonna go, "Oh, we can't say no, really, can we?" Like, if it was Merlin, everyone would be like, "Yeah, fuck it, whatever." Poor Merlin. But yeah, no, this was a lot of fun. Me and Valen, an entire hour or so of evil planning, just like steepled fingers, mwahahaing, all that stuff. So much fun. Valen, you'd make a great GM.
I just took your ideas and went, right, what happens if we just like manipulate false sense of security? Let's do that. Let's do that. But not even false sense of insecurity, where they're slightly more secure than what's actually going on. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
And then just take the chair as they're about to sit down right at the end of the episode and just...
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Was not expecting one of the cast members to lose their limbs through the medium of stone. That wasn't expected, must say.
Hey, unstable mages doing unstable spells. Well, not even spells, just manipulating reality.
To be fair, it was going to be that, or I was going to summon a ball of chaos.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to start summoning that.
I literally was going to do it, but then when there was just like, oh, we don't have any time, I was just like, no.
I had a list of things to counteract everything. I was just waiting to just be like, right, okay, where do I go with this?
And
she's like,
her
thought process was like, okay, well, spirits are chaotic, you know, what if they're just drawn to like just pure chaos in general, you know, because chaos can like, you know, create and destroy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, what if, you know, we use it as like bait, as like, hey, this is literally, because she can't control it, but she can literally just summon pure chaos.
Have you thought deep into that yet?
A little bit. Like I kind of want to try a couple things, but like.
Well, so I'll very quickly I'll lead you down a thought path. If Sesha can summon a sphere of chaos, and the spirit realm is made of chaos, what's she summoning? So anyway, I'm Sheepy, I run the Wandering Inn. Valen got subjected to all of my machinations and things, so I could like work him into the story. So he knows a lot of stuff that hasn't come out yet. Feel free to go and jump on him while he's streaming and bug him about like mage answers, because he has them. But it requires you to follow and subscribe, so you know. It's, but yes, links down below for all these wonderful people, both in the YouTube video and in the Twitch link. And we're going to be back next week. Go check out all the Patreon and Twitter and stuff for me if you want to support the show, if you enjoyed it. The more support on the Patreon, the more shows I can do. I'm planning on doing more shows regardless, but basically I'll be able to run more shows at the same time. So, yeah. For now, what I will say, as I subtly turn off the music so I can run the outro, is thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you same somnambulist time, same somnambulist place. Cheers!